you guys got to know is that Tiger Radio is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament April 29th, 12 to 6. Where is it, Jeff?
Jansen Longoria Gym. Plenty of prizes, great fun, great entertainment. The winner takes it all. You know it. Know your role and get yourself down right here. You can always sign up on TigerRadio.net.
So, get at it.
Oh, hell yeah!
Hi, my name is Aaron, and I'm a survivor of mannequinism. Mannequinism is basically when you turn into a hard plastic shell, distanced from not being politically active. For me, it started when I didn't register to vote, and then I stopped volunteering, and before I knew it, I wasn't doing anything. And that's when I found the first sign. A small, discolored hard patch of plastic on my right shoulder. I thought it would go away on its own, but it didn't. It kept spreading. And when I could no longer conceal it with a t-shirt, I knew I had to see the doctor. He said I had this early stage of mannequinism and that my only hope was to get involved, even if it was something simple. So I began reading the newspaper and instantly got feeling back in my arm. I guess you could say I'm living proof you can fight mannequinism.
Protect yourself from mannequinism. Log on to fightmannequinism.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Want to fight childhood asthma? Then fight it with a scrub brush and a hot soapy towel. Even in the neatest and tidiest homes, if there's so much as a crumb to eat or a drop to drink, household pests like bugs and mice will do all that they can to get it. And they're more than just a nuisance for kids with asthma because they can actually trigger an asthma attack. So, sweep up crumbs, wipe down tables, scrub dishes before they pile up in the sink, and store leftovers in plastic bags or bowls. Don't leave bugs and mice so much as one tidbit or nibble, and you can stop a childhood asthma attack before it starts. Discover other simple ways to prevent an asthma attack. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS or visit noattacks.org, because no child should feel like a fish out of water. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. EPA, the Ad Council, and this station.
San Francisco SPCA, a non-profit animals shelter which is to save and protect animals, provide care and treatment. In 2015, the leave release rate for the entire city of San Francisco reached 93%. We imagine a community where every animal has a loving home, where animals don't need the support of San Francisco's recruits and shelters. The SFSPCA is an independent, local non-profit that receives no government funding and is not part of any national organization. We rely on your support. Come to join us. We can't do this without you. You can go to www.sfspca.org to donate or contact us 415-554-3000.
You're listening to Pacific Tiger Baseball with Jeff Dominic and Mark Walsh, only on the Pacific Tiger Digital Network.
Good conference fans, welcome into the conference here at Fine Family Field between the visiting Portland Pilots and the home team, the University of Pacific Tigers. Both teams looking to get out on a little bit of a run here in the fairly near future. Portland coming in at 8-32-1, 4-14 in the West Coast Conference, and the University of Pacific Tigers 13-25, but they're only 2-16 in the West Coast Conference. I'm Jeff Dominic. Thank you all very much for joining us here. I'm also always have a great opportunity to have a listen, none other than the returning venture of none other than Mark Walsh. Mark, what's going on, man?
Hey, just back from the study session, a month and a half long study session for my comprehensive exam. So all those listening in West Coast Conference fandom, you're going to have a new master's degree recipient soon. And
congratulations, man.
Thanks, partner. I appreciate it.
So the Pacific Tigers, let's go ahead and we'll talk about them in a second. The Portland Pilots coming in here at once again at 8-32-1,
Yes.
have a good on tonight. Tate Budnick, who's a junior right-handed pitcher, 497 on the season. ERA is a little high, but in college ranks, this is about where you want to be in this rank. 50 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's 1-8 on the season, but I think that if we look at the true numbers right now with his rest of we can go the offensive side of the lineup. A lot of young, a couple seniors, but a lot of young faces on this Portland Pilots team, and kind of I wouldn't say necessarily. They're just having their struggles, and I think that kind of coincides with what we're seeing with a 1-8 pitcher on the season.
Yeah, I think a lot of the offensive struggles Portland has had. I mean, you look up and down the numbers that they have, and nothing really pops out at you. I mean, Matt Kelly batting third for him is batting 302 on the season.
He's in fact the only
above 300.
Portland player. Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of these guys are full-time players, so or at least they've played a good majority of the season. So you'd think that. I think that Ryan Shreve can get out there and get a good start.
And we switched it over to Pacific, and Ryan Shreve, a freshman right-handed pitcher, 5.59 ERA, 1-3 on the season. But there's a lot of good things that I've only heard good things from a lot of the staff and the players around here at Pacific, that Ryan Shreve can be that next guy to take them up to another level that they haven't been before. And a freshman righty is going to be a good future here for the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, he started 7 games already as a freshman, so that's kind of definitely a big step in the right direction. They sure trust him, on the mound if nothing else. And 37 innings pitched on the season. That's that's a pretty good load for someone that's starting out at D1. So you can see him going off into the future and being a nice starter for him down the road next 3 years.
Shreve taking over for the currently injured Shelby Lackey, the sophomore righty that had a lot of promise, but just due to some shoulder issues, has not necessarily quote unquote cut his season short, but has had a lot of tough times trying to get back on the field.
Yeah, that'll do.
So we will be curious to see also a couple other pitchers this weekend. That being Will Leiden. Not sure about his status. We'll find that out hopefully soon, and we'll kind of let you know as we know more. And of course, we always look forward to the lefty that is Ricky Reynoso. We'll see him hopefully on Sunday. So a lot of things kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say up in the air, but we'll get you more information as the rest of the night continues. We'll give you the starting lineups here in just a little bit, as we are about 5 minutes from the first pitch. The Tigers last weekend went off into St. Mary's and had their little bit of struggles. Yeah. There were a couple games that, and this is showing signs of a team that is still learning how to play with each other, considering that they are very young, and they had late and were unable to be successful. In fact, the game in the final decision that wound up being the sweep for St. Mary's, St. Mary's wound up having a walk-off win. Oh, so it was the Tigers were in the lead. Unfortunately, that one fell through, and then of course there was Sunday as well, and it's Saturday as well. It just unfortunately just are unable to win on the road right now. Have a very poor winning record, very poor record on the road. I believe only just with only 1 or 2 wins.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, you can't really. I mean, that's where they're going to have to win. They're going to have to figure that out in the future. It's they're going to have they close their season out with only after this series. There's 2 more home games, I guess, from looking at the schedule. So they're going to maybe have to figure something out on the road to close the season out, or they're going to go off into the off season with like a little bad streak behind them, and they don't want to do that.
For Portland, they've actually had their own little bit of a losing streak as well, losing 5 straight. 3 of them goes to Gonzaga, who's an extremely exceptional team, Gonzaga is, and 2 recently to UNLV. They did lose 1-5, 1-4. But as we said, both teams right now looking to find a way to start to make notice here in the West Coast Conference and in making names for themselves here in the Division I baseball. As we said, still very, very young, still learning their own ropes, and still learning to try and get with by head coach Jeff Loomis in his second year. So 2 brand new coaches here as well, whether it be Jeff Loomis over for Portland in his second season, also Mike New in his second season as well.
Yeah, a lot of things mirror each other with these programs this year, and I don't know, I could see, I mean, this is going to be a good series this weekend. I mean, the Pacific's got them at home, and 2 evenly matched squads, and we'll see how it all works out. But Pacific's got to get something going late in the season, just a little momentum to begin next season with. Just take it into the off season and recruit some more kids, get some good players out here, and get them out in the nice, expansive sunshine of Klein Family Field.
An extremely windy
Yes.
Klein Family Field today is it's been very extremely windy here in Stockton and in the Central Valley area. Once again, the Tigers have also had their, as we talked about, their struggles. Their last game was here at home against Sacramento State, a 5-2 loss, and it was a lot of things that we saw with the Tigers is that they were having success early where they would get a double.
Struggles. Their last game was here at
Find a way
home
to score.
against Sacramento State, a 5-2 loss.
After the game,
And
he
it
said
was
that
a lot of things that we
there's
saw
things
with the
that we have
Tigers
to
is that
focus
they
on
were having
for us to not allow that to happen again, and it has to be timely hitting. Something the Tigers have been very, very fortunate on is that they were able to get 2-out hits. We saw that early in the beginning of the season, but due to a lot of injuries, young guys filling in a lot of veteran spots, and it's been difficult for these Tigers.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough to pick up on that. You know, I mean, you got some guys. I mean, you see someone like, you know, you see foundational pieces that have emerged, though. I mean, even out of this. I mean, maybe the injuries can help in the future with these young guys having to step up. But then you have someone like James, you know, hopefully here for all four, but as well as he's playing, it doesn't look that way. I mean, a switch hitting catcher that's batting .312 on the season. So that's, you know, runs. I mean, these are just stats that, you know, you hope to see here for another 3 years after this year. But
Well,
I can see the majors come a calling. So
well, at least for one more year, we'll have him. But note that James Free is going to be highly has a season like he has this season going to next season. Yeah, the possibilities are there, but for now, we got a lot of baseball to cover with that, and we don't have to. You know, fortunately for us, we don't have to worry too much into that yet. I mean, the biggest thing I think that we feel for is Danny Mary's been having his issues with his wrist injuries or injury, not more than one, just one as that I've known of, that I've been aware of, and had a struggle this season. He'll be batting fifth. He moved up a spot from a lot of different faces, and I think the biggest one that I'm curious to see, because I have not seen him at home, I've seen him on the road, is Carter Hayes.
Playing third base tonight, yeah.
Which also throws another little monkey wrench in that whole situation. Carter Hayes, he's only started, this will be his third start this season, and from what I've heard, only good things as well from him, the young freshman. A lot of talent, and could be very, very interesting to see, as we'll also see Kevin Sondry moves over from third, where he's been a fairly normal mainstay for the Tigers. He'll be at second tonight.
Wow, that's
is here. And of course, the rest of it pretty much stays the same, but it's good to see Jimmy Boris after he's had some lower body issues. He's starting in the starting lineup as well. Once again, we'll give you all the pertinent information here in just a moment. It is getting close to first pitch. Both coaches are out on the right at home plate, meeting with the umpires, and we're getting close to getting ready to have some hometown baseball here in Stockton, California, over at Klein Family Field. Not been to Klein Family Field. It's a beautiful ballpark. Everyone needs to come here and check it out at least, I'd say, 5 times out of the year every year.
Yeah, absolutely.
but no, and the beautiful thing is that Stockton has 3 beautiful ballparks here, and it's, you know, if you haven't been to one, visit all 3 of them. Banner Island Ballpark over there for the Advanced A Stockton Port, Oakland Athletics. Here, of course, and of course, Nick Pichetti Field over at Delta. All 3 ballparks beautiful.
Yes.
But coaches have shaken hands with the umpires. They're heading back to their respective dugouts. Umpire throws the first pitch, which is technically the one that goes straight to the starting or to the mound from the pitcher's mound. Tigers are over there in their white uniforms, black numbers, Pacific across. Or actually, I believe that's Tigers across their chest, and it's they are heading out right now. And the Portland Pilots in the purple jerseys with the gray pants, and it says Portland across their chest. They are all meeting out there onto their side of the dugout as they get ready for the national anthem, which means we will do the same here. When we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups here at Klein Family Field.
Of those who preserve, protect, and defend our freedoms at home and abroad, with the playing of our national anthem performed tonight by the Tom Hawkins Band. and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for the Tom Hawkins Band? Nicely done.
Nice little rendition there for the band here at Klein Family Field. Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh. Thank you all for us here as the Tigers have officially catcher James Free heading back to behind home plate, giving a little handshake to the umpires. Let's give you know what, we don't do this very often. Let's give the umpires their start them off. The home plate umpire, Barney Navarro. First base umpire, Kevin Walken. And third base, Josh Gottlieb. Now for the visiting Portland Pilots. Leading off, the center fielder, or excuse me, the right fielder, Jason Bozen. Center fielder, Bo Brundage will be batting second. Matt Kelly batting third. Kevin Wade batting fourth. Cody Hawken will be in left field and batting fifth. Mike Hicks, the designated hitter, will be the catcher. Ryan Hoogerwarf will be at third and batting eighth. And rounding up the batting order for the Portland Pilots, Michael Borgione.
Not the easiest lineup to pronounce.
No, absolutely not. But we will make sure we get through it by the end of the week. By the end of the weekend, we'll be pros at it.
Exactly.
Give you the field positions for the home team, the Pacific Tigers. Be from left to right. Blake Berry. Center field will be Jimmy Boris. And in right, Danny Mayer. The infield is as follows. Carter Hayes. Shortstop, Matt Tarantino. Second base, Kevin Sondry. First base, Ryan Schultz. And behind the plate, James Free. Ryan Shreve will be taking the mound. He will come in with a 5.59 ERA. 7 games started. He has given up 23 earned runs while striking out 17 and walking 19. Umpires are holding things up here a little bit as they're asking the coaching staff on the Pacific side to back, it seems like. And the same thing with the Portland side. They're looking like they're trying to get a couple things behind netting a little bit. We are underway as the first pitch is a pop fly into shallow left field. Tarantino racing under it, makes the catch for the first pitch. First out, number 1 here to start things off.
Well, that is a break for Ryan Shreve, being that 1 pitch, 1 out, first inning. Another lefty here, though.
Up next is going to be the lefty, Bo Brundage. Left-handed batter batting 273. He's started all 40 games. This will be the first start as the first pitch he sees is low and outside or inside for ball 1. Oh, Brundage, a redshirt freshman, as the 1-0 is 1. From Mill Creek High School in Beaufort, Georgia.
Well, that's a long ways from home.
A little bit of a trip. The 1-1 is low for ball 2. The 2-1 is inside and low, ball 3.
Well, he's working this count. He's got 19 walks on the season to lead Portland. So he's definitely a patient hitter.
1 out here. Just getting away here at Klein Family Field. The 3-1 is a chopper over to first base. He'll step on the bag, but the first base umpire will say that it's a foul ball. That was right down the line. Schultz gathered it and stepped on the bag. But right about simultaneously, the first base umpire, Kevin Walken, signaled foul. So it'll be a 3-2 pitch coming up to Brundage. Brundage, the center fielder, as we mentioned, a freshman. The 3-2. And that will go over into foul territory. Hayes with a beat on it, but unable to make the catch. And the count will stay 3-2.
Yeah, it's a tough play to make going over your head like that.
Yeah, Hayes was running over there, tried to make a kind of an over-the-shoulder catch, but he was also leaning backwards while trying to do it. And he just kind of misjudged it. It is extremely windy here And the winds are, I would say, a little bit swirly because they were blowing out to right. Now they're blowing out to left. It is a clear and sunny day, so there is that aspect because it's been few and far between to start throughout this season. The 3-2, and that's going to be go right to Kevin Sondry. He's on the run. He'll make the throw, but that will be offline, and it will be a base hit for Brundage with one out.
Yeah, that was just right back up the middle. I think that went off Shreve's glove, and that would have been an incredible play to make that, but I think Brundage was a little too quick.
We'll see the first right-handed batter for the Portland Pilots. That's going to be Matt Kelly, the shortstop. He's in 159 at-bats. He's driven in 11, had 10 doubles, and he has one dinger on the season. Batting 302 from the right-hand side. Shreve out of the stretch, and that is a curveball in there for strike one, right on the outer half, and a beautiful curveball to start Kelly off with. Kelly is taking his time. Now he gets into batter's box. He kind of adjusted his gloves. Now he looks in. Here's the 0-1 by the righty. Swing and a miss for strike two. Nice little change in speed by Shreve. He went with a off-speed pitch, and then he threw a fastball. That one was more right about just above the knees on the inner half. So nice job with him changing the locations by the freshman. The 0-2, and that is going to be knocked foul into the grassy side in the right field. That'll land there. No kids there right now. In fact, an adult will go over there and make a little play on the ball. It was just hanging out there in the grassy area.
Yeah, if you want to get a foul ball.
There you go. Once again, Shreve looking in to Kelly. Brundage on first. He had a base hit on a 3-2 pitch. That is in the dirt. Shreve gathers it to go to ball one. Brundage hit that base hit off of Shreve's glove, and it was just out of the reach of Kevin Sondry, who's playing second base, and just was unable to make the hop throw. And here's a 1-2 once again with Shreve in the stretch. He'll actually throw it back to first. Kelly digging back in. Shreve gets the signal, and here's going to be the 1-2 pitch yet again. And that is once again in the dirt. The runner will take off. They'll throw to second, and not in time as the ball actually skips away from Sondry. And now there's a runner in scoring position with one out.
Yeah, that was kind of a delayed steal. I guess you really trust that speed. That guy's pretty quick there. Brundage.
So for Brundage, that is his 9th stolen base on the season. Well, actually, that'll be his 8th stolen base. They caught me napping. They updated it quicker than I could.
That's pretty quick.
So now here's the 2-2 to Kelly. Actually, time is now called. Shreve will step off the mound, and now he'll step back in. Kelly is actually working the pace into his favor, which is phenomenal. Here's the 2-2. Check swing. Runner goes. Now he's got him kind of in a little bit of a pickle. He'll make the play to tag to by Carter Hayes, and he's out.
Wow, got him hung up there. He really thought that ball was going to get by James Free and just went for it. And
Brundage hesitated, and that hesitation really caught him napping, and that will now be 2 outs with a 3-2 pitch coming up.
That's a big, big out right there. You did not want to make that out. He's going to get talked to about that.
So he's caught stealing, and now it'll be no runners on with a 3-2 pitch to Matt Kelly. Here's the 3-2. The payoff pitch is a chopper over to third base. It is off of Carter Hayes' glove. Albert Man Tarantino gathers it. He'll just hang on to it. And I'll be curious to see what the scoring is going to be. They may credit him with a base hit. That was a tough hop, but probably a play that should have been made. So I'm kind of 50-50 on this one.
Yeah, he went back on it when he should have charged it and kind of left himself open for a hop like that. So I don't know. You got to give him an error there, I think. Oh, yeah, there's the error.
They do push Carter Hayes with the error. Once again, Carter Hayes only making his third start. Checked the runner back at first. It was hit hard, but at the same time, it was questionable, and it could have went either way.
I think just because of the break he took on it, but.
So here's the first pitch to Wade, and that's going to be over to Hayes. Hayes gathers it, throw on to first, and that ends the inning. So the Tigers allow a couple of runners to get on, but some fortunate defensive work. The Tigers get out of it. We head to the bottom of the first. No score here at Klein Family Field on the Tiger Digital Network and on the West Coast Conference, the W.TV.
Thousands of cats and dogs each year are housed in animal shelters. Local volunteers and workers help to give these poor animals a second chance. But they can't do it alone. Please go down to your local shelter today to volunteer, donate, or adopt. Your support can help end the 4 million euthanations performed each year on animals. Please help. Give a little to save a lot of life. For more information, visit us at www.humanesociety.org.
The Scholar Share Tiger Pack is back. For just $40, you can grab 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas to any Pacific baseball game. It's the best value in town. For more information about the Scholar Share Tiger Pack, head online to pacifictigers.com/tigerpack. Give you the starting lineups for the Pacific Tigers, led by head coach Mike New in his second season. Jimmy Boris will be leading off. Matt Tarantino will be batting second. James Freed batting third. Ryan Schultz will be batting fourth. Danny Mayer fifth. Lucas Halstead will be batting sixth. Blake Berry will be batting seventh. Carter Hayes will be batting eighth. And Kevin Sondry will be rounding up the batting order for the Pacific Tigers. From left to right in the outfield for the Portland Pilots will be Hawken, Brundage, and Rosen. On the infield, it will be Hoogerwarf at third, shortstop Kelly, second base Forgione, at first will be Wade. The catcher will be Copas, and as we mentioned, Budnick, the first pitch swinging, and that may be caught by the catcher, and it is caught by Copas, and that is a quick one pitch out for the Portland Pilots.
Tit for tat. Portland did it, and then Pacific does it. Right back at you.
That brings up Matt Tarantino. Tarantino has been on a little bit of a tear, kind of leveled out here lately, but batting .299 on the season. He has struck out 23 times, but has 6 home runs and has driven in 23 Tiger base runners. First pitch he sees is a shot down the left field line, and that is fair ball, and that is out of the reach of the third baseman, Hoogerwarf, and that will be a stand-up double for Matt Tarantino. He'll actually kind of round it a little bit, but heads back to second. So a double for Matt Tarantino.
Oh. Stays high. He's above 300 now on that. That's beautiful.
Now batting .305 with that base hit.
Well, that's 2 pitches from Budnick and 2 swings and 1 out, 1 double. So let's see how this goes. This aggressive Pacific batting sort of posture, I guess they're going through right now.
Tate Budnick, the right-handed pitcher, 1-8 on the season. He's got a 4.94 ERA and 51 innings pitched. He's struck out 34 opposing batters while giving up 28 earned runs. First pitch to James Freed was a swing and a miss. Freed was trying to make this a 2-0 ball game in one swing.
Yeah, he was swinging pretty hard there.
Now the wind is blowing out to right field, and he being a left-handed batter in this at-bat, he is a switch hitting batter. Batting .312, the freshman catcher for the Tigers. With 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Right-handed pitcher Budnick looks in, then he'll throw the pitch, and that's high for ball 1.
Yeah, I think any left-handed batter probably puts the flag going. Oh, no, the center field.
It's a swirling wind here Budnick looks in, the righty checking the runner at second. He deals. Another swing and a miss, strike 2. James Free, one of the, I would say, if not one of the biggest surprise here at Pacific. The freshman that basically earned the starting catcher spot and has earned to be batting in the 3 spot.
Yeah, he's going to be in consideration for some postseason awards, I would imagine.
He's looking at a 1-2 pitch by Budnick. He swings in a high fly ball over to center field. The center fielder, Brundage, looking up, giving it a run, and it is out of here.
Oh, that ball drifted and carried out.
So it is 2-0 Tigers. James Free with his 9th home run.
Well, we were just talking about getting it up in the air, and that's all he had to do, and boom, 2-0. As we were talking about that, then we're talking about him for postseason awards. I mean, come on. I think there's some kind of connection going on here.
Number 33, Ryan Schultz.
And it brings up Ryan Schultz, the junior transfer from the College of Marin. First baseman batting .294 has also kind of gathered himself this season, just like Matt Tarantino, getting the ropes here at Division I baseball. The first pitch he sees is roped into left field. That'll drop for a base. The Tigers looking to keep the bats alive.
Wow. They're coming out swinging tonight.
And it brings up Danny Mayer. Mayer has 8 home runs on the season, trying to keep pace with his Tiger counterpart.
Yeah.
James Free just hit one. Could be looking to see if Mayer can do another one, as there's a little bit of a meeting on the mound between the head coach, Jeff Loomis, and Budnick. Tate Budnick. That's actually his 5th home run he's given up this season.
Yeah, it can't be any easier thrown into the wind like that. Gosh, that'll ruin your confidence quick when you're giving up hit after hit.
I would say that the wind is gonna play a factor if your bat's gonna get hot.
Yeah. And it is picking up. Those trees are shaking out there in center field.
Absolutely.
Oh. Well, we got the windows closed up here in the booth.
We got one open.
Yeah.
It's halfway open.
Yeah.
Got to get some crowd noise.
Exactly.
People are a little cheering a little bit more, and the home crowd has gotten a home run, gotten 2 runs. They're 7-1 on the season when they score first, so
that's a good
little of note. First pitch to Mayer is a curveball that goes into the dirt and outside, ball 1.
Way to lay off that.
Actually, they're 7-1 when leading after 3 innings, I should say.
Okay.
So, got to keep an eye on that.
Well, hey, you fact checked. That's good.
The 1-0 to Danny Mayer is also another curveball that goes in the dirt, kind of skips away from Copas, and
this is how everybody's been pitching Danny this year. Those curveballs away and down.
Well, if they don't pitch him outside like that, they'll throw the high heat into his hands.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the 2 spots they got him scouted on.
But Nick looking in. Here's the 2-0 by the righty. That is also down and low in the dirt. The runner goes, throw on to second, and applying the tag, but not in time. So now Schultz in scoring position, and we still only have 1 out here in the bottom of the first.
That was a real excellent throw though by Copas. I mean, he almost gunned him at second, despite that ball being in the dirt for a good couple seconds there.
And they will not credit Schultz with the stolen base. He advances to second on a wild pitch. So now runner in scoring position. The outfield is as far back as they can get. Same thing with the infield. I'm watching the left fielder Hawken. He's almost at the warning track. Here's the 3-0, and that misses a walk for Danny Mayer.
Well, there we go. Keep the rally alive.
And to be honest with you, if you go to 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 6 hitters, you have the meat of the order. You don't have a 3, 4, and 5. You have realistically 5 batters that can hit the ball long and deep.
Yeah.
And here's one more, as that's Lucas Halstead. Halstead has 5 home runs. He's batting .227, but has been more of on an upswing here lately. In 141 at bats, he's got 32 hits, and as I mentioned, 5 home runs. He's driven in 16 Tiger base runners. So it's 1 out, runners on first and second. Here's the first pitch he sees, and that's a pop fly into right field. Rosen looks like he's got it. He'll make the catch, and that'll be out number 2. Both runners had come back to their respective bases. So first pitch swinging, and all it was pretty much I wouldn't call it a can of corn, but a fairly routine fly ball to right.
That's pretty routine for a right fielder coming in like that.
Then again, with this wind blowing the way it is, actually it's kind of slowed down here a little bit. You never know what's routine anymore.
Right.
It brings up Blake Berry. Berry batting .255 on the season. Good to see him back in the lineup. The first pitch, a curveball that hits right on the inner half for strike 1.
That was a good-looking curve.
On deck is Carter Hayes.
Looks like Budnick's kind of settled down a little bit. Didn't get too rattled off that.
0-1 by the righty. And that is fouled back behind us. We'll go to 0-2. So Budnick looking to get out of this after he gives up the double, the home run, and then a single. He walks Mayer, and that was all with 1 out. And then with Lucas Halstead flying out to right, Budnick has an opportunity here. Here's the 0-2. That is in the dirt and outside, ball 1. Which is pretty much to be expected. We're working with basically having 3 pitches to work with here. In limited at-bats for Blake Berry, he's actually gotten 2 home runs this season. He only had 1 going into this season. This being his senior year.
Good way to go out.
Here's the 1-2. The curveball right up the middle, and that looks like it's going to plate 1. Advancing to third is Mayer. And the Tigers score again. It's 3-0. And nearly knocked out one of the umpires.
Kevin Walken.
Was it Walken?
Yeah.
He had to get out. He had to do the little olay, and it was a base hit for Blake Berry.
Good thing he chose the right way, because if he would have chose the other way,
he might have.
He'd still be down on the ground. That was hit hard.
So Schultz scores. Mayer advances to third off the base hit. Kopas will go ahead and have a little conversation once again to Budnick. Budnick has.
Here we go. Carter Hayes, third baseman.
I'm curious to see this. I wanted to see him. I wanted to see him play here tonight, and wish came granted. And see what he can do with runners on the corners with 2 outs. Berry's on first after that base hit. Mayer on third, advancing from that base hit to Carter Hayes. Budnick looks in. He's out of the stretch. He deals. That is a rocket foul, so look out. I don't think it would reach any bystanders at that point.
Yeah.
That was hit high but hard.
Yeah, they hit the athletic building back there, which is good. It's made of concrete.
Wind once again. Now it blows out to right field.
He's got a quick bat. I mean, that was inside, and he turned on that. That's what he's capable of.
He looks in. He deals. Curveball that will go to the right side foul and go to 0-2. Carter Hayes was able to hold up on one and took off on another one, so both of them ended up foul. So Tate Budnick trying to get out of this one once again. Here's the 0-2 pitch by Budnick. That is just outside. A good pitch that just did not miss by much.
That is a great pitch.
And on the flip side of that, we'll credit Carter Hayes with a good eye, because that was close, and that could have gone either way. And it would not have surprised me if home plate umpire Navarro would have rung him up. The 1-2 by Budnick. Another curveball. He's swinging away. Throw on the first for the formalities as they drop third strike, and that'll end the inning. but not until the Tigers get 3. We head to the top of the second inning. Tigers lead 3-0 here on the W.TV and a Tiger Digital Network.
She's 16 years old, but she looks like she's 25, wearing a tight dress she'll rip off in a shady motel room. She thought this was the life she wanted. She got the money, the clothes, the attention from her pimp, but she also can't imagine living without prostitution. She doesn't think she's a victim. She thinks she's in control, but she can't leave. When she's no longer the sexy little girl they want, she may only see one way out. This girl lived here in Stockton. She's one of thousands of girls in the city who has been sex trafficked but doesn't see herself as a victim. Call the local Stockton Human Trafficking Hotline to report any tips at 209-948-1911. If you see anything, say something. You will be saving a life. And if you are this girl, there is hope. Call 209-948-1911. You are worth so much more.
We've reached the top of the second here at Klein Family Field. Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh, thank you all very much for joining us here. Tigers have scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first. A 2-run cap. One of the big caps was a 2-run home run by James Free.
James Free is having a heck of a season, and it continues here at home against Portland.
Blake Berry later answered with a base hit up the middle that wound up scoring Schultz, excuse me. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 by Shreve. That just misses inside. That's another pitch that was close to Hawken. Hawken, the left fielder for Portland Pilots. Batting .245 on the season. Has 5 home runs. As that pitch is swung on and smacked hard down the left field line, but it will hook well foul to go to 1-2, or 2-1, excuse me.
That girl's at a full sprint to get that ball, but there's no competition.
Cody Hawken, the sophomore from Vancouver, Washington, went to Union High School. Here's the 2-1. That goes inside, ball 3. The 5, 6, 7 hitters. Here's the 3-1. That misses high for ball 4. So a leadoff walk by Shreve. Now bring up Mike Hicks. Hicks, the designated hitter, batting .204. It's 2 home runs while driving in 14. For Hicks, this will be his 25th start this season. Another young sophomore. Here's the first pitch to him, and that is pop foul down the left field line, but that'll hook foul and well out of play. Tigers in double play depth. Carter Hayes right on the fringe on the third base side. Maybe 1 or 2 steps. I'll say 1 step away from the infield grass. Schultz holding the runner on first. That's Hawken. Hawken has 6 stolen bases this season. Left-handed batter Hicks. The 0-1 is a pop fly, and it looks like that Free will make the catch in its fair territory.
Wow.
For out number 1.
That ball worked its way back. Fair territory. Where it hit. If there was no wind today, he would have made that by the net. So, to give you any idea for anyone that's been here.
It brings up Kopus, the right-handed batter, batting .221 on the season.
I got to give James Free a 10 on difficulty on that catch, too. That was, I don't know how he caught that. That's sticky glove.
Kopus with 1 home run, driven in 11. First pitch he sees is a fastball on the outside half, right above the knees for strike 1. Runner on first after the leadoff walk. That's Hawken. As the Portland Pilots trail 3-0 here in the top of the second. Check the runner back at first. in time was Hawken. And as you mentioned, as we talked about here, I mean, 6 stolen bases. You know that they may look to have an opportunity here. He's only the 0-1.
Whoa.
And that may have got him, and it did. So now a runners on first and second. That one got a little too far inside to Copas.
Yeah, if you're going to get beamed, though, get beamed by that slow breaking curveball right in the middle of your back. So it's better than a fastball.
That brings up Brian Hugerworf, the third baseman, batting 209 from the right side. The junior steps in. The first pitch he sees is a strike on the inner half for strike 1. So a walk to lead off everything, a fly ball into fair territory by just a pop-up to the catcher, and then a hit by pitch puts runners on first and second with Hugerworf at the plate. The 0-1 outside.
Yeah, you want to make them work a little bit harder for those men on first and second, but a little double play will get them out of it right here.
The freshman Shreve looks in the stretch. Check the runner back at second. Here's the 1-1. A swing and a miss. That would have been ball 2, but it's strike 2 nevertheless.
And he couldn't lay off. He tried to pull it too, and it was on the outside, to the outside of the plate.
Hugerworf does strike out. He does have 42 on the season. So Shreve looks in. Sondry took a couple steps in on the second base side, and now Shreve will go ahead and just kind of step back as he wanted to reset things, I would believe.
Yeah, I don't think there was any consideration to throw right there.
Copa is not a threat to steal. He does not have a stolen base this season, but it could be a double steal here with 1 out. Portland might want to get something going. Here's the 1-2, and that's chopped foul, and that will remain 1-2. So Hawkins still at second. Copas at first after he was hit by a pitch. And Shreve actually taking a lot more time than he did to start the game. Here's the 1-2 once again, and that is going to be foul after a little bit of a shot. About 5 feet off there, I would say about 10 feet off the foul line. And umpire some fresh baseballs.
Yeah, they're filling a lot off. Keep this right, they're going to go through a few boxes today.
Shreve looks in again. He's in the stretch. The 1-2 by the righty. And that is fouled behind us.
Right above us.
Our count remains the same. 1-2 with 1 out. So, if I got this right, Hugerworf went to Louisiana Tech, then transferred to Cisco College, and now he's here for Portland.
Wow. It's a traveling man.
The 1-2. Curveball, got him swinging, strike 3, so there's 2 outs.
Yeah, Louisiana Tech and Portland, you cannot have 2 different climates. They both rain a lot, but gosh. A little different.
I would still say that Louisiana may be a little more humid, right?
Yeah, a lot more humid. A lot hotter. Humidity might be the same. But.
Michael Forgione, batting 137 on the season, a second baseman for the Pilots, with a good opportunity here with 2 on, but with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch by Shreve, and that is well outside for ball 1.
Yeah, James Free is good with that glove. Gosh, he dug that out.
That's probably one thing so far this season we haven't had a chance to talk about is the you have been able to see the growth in Free behind the plate as a defender.
Oh, yeah, that's been, I think, real noticeable.
The 1-0, that is right on the outer corner, a fastball just about the thigh high for strike one.
Well, sure, he works on his craft. I mean, you can tell that that's hours practicing. I mean, I've missed a couple, I've missed almost 2 months of baseball.
Well, they have not been home either for a good portion of that, to be fair to you.
Yeah, yes. And but it's you see it now and it's just like, wow, just see the progression. It's quite amazing.
Here's the 1-1 by Shreve. And that is a hopper that'll go behind the plate and go foul. So Shreve looking to get out of this after allowing a walk and a hit by pitch. He struck out Hoogerwerf, and that will now Forgione is up in a 1-2 spot. On deck is Rosen. He'll be the top of the order. Where Tigers will be Sondri, Boris, and Tarantino at the bottom of the second. So Shreve looks in. Here's the 1-2, a 2 on the right field line, and it goes off of Schultz's glove into right field. The runner will try and go home. Tag not applied as it just misses and safe. So the Portland Pilots get on to the board. It's 3-1 in favor of the Tigers.
Yeah, that was a tough. Had some tough spin on that ball. Let's put it that way. That was
They'll credit that with a base hit.
Yeah, that's a hard play to make at first with that spin.
And the walk proves costly for Shreve. We'll credit Forgione with an RBI. Kopas moves up to second. Still with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. A swing and a miss to Rosen. Rosen's first at bat was just I wouldn't say once again, not routine, but a fly out to the shortstop as Tarantino had to travel just a little bit into left field area.
Yeah, and there's no routine pop-ups or fly balls today, although the wind has died down a touch.
Shreve checks the runner at second. Here's the 0-1, and that will be fouled back and go to 0-2. So Shreve, once again, back in a good spot here where he can try and get out of this with minimal damage. Portland Pilots have answered back a little bit with 1 run of their own in the top of the second, excuse me. Big gap right into the center in between short and there's the 0-2, and that will be a chopper foul.
Yeah, they're giving that gap up in right center.
Sondri is playing Rosen to pull. Playing extremely far. Actually, I would say he's basically in right center field. Just about 2 steps out of the dirt. Of the infield. Here's the 0-2 by Shreve. Runners on first and second. Kopas will look in. Take a couple steps. The 0-2 is just outside for ball 1. Rosen, in limited at-bats, has struck out 6 times in 21 at-bats. As he looks at a 1-2 pitch. Rosen batting .238. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Shreve gets out of the inning, only with giving up 1 run. So we head to the bottom of the second. Tigers coming up as they lead 3-1 on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
Fans, be sure to check out the fantastic offer from Wingstop.
Are you playing in that treehouse?
For the nearest location,
Eric Easy E. Wright, Irvin Magic Johnson. These are just 2 of the many people who could not escape the horrible disease known as HIV. AIDS.gov calculated that 1.2 million people in the U.S. are living with HIV, and 1 in every 8 of them don't even know that they are HIV positive. It is time for everyone to go to their local doctor and get tested. Let's do what we can to make sure we continue the fight against HIV, so we are no longer hearing sounds like this.
I don't want to die yet!
But instead hearing sounds like this.
I love you, Daddy!
Listen to this message. Please don't ignore. Go get tested, and the life you will save is yours.
At Wingstop, our thing is wings. We cook them to order in 11 flavors and pair them with hand-cut fries. When the wing craving hits you, order online at wingstop.com. Wingstop, get at it. We reached the bottom of the second here. Tigers leading 3-1 against the Portland Pilots. West Coast Conference baseball we have for you tonight. Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh. Thank you all very much for joining us here. As we'll see the 9-1 and 2 hitters. It'll be Sandri, Boris, and Tarantino. Tate Budnick had a tough first inning. He's given up 3 runs. Struck out 1. Here's the first pitch to Sandri, is inside for strike 1. Sandri the second. Okay. As Budnick deals the 0-1. That is low and outside for ball 1. Sandri moving over to second. Giving Preston Mobius a little bit of a night off as the 1-1 misses inside a curveball for 2-1. Preston Mobius has probably had the time of his life about a week ago, a little more than a week ago, after the game-winning base hit that drove in 2 against Fresno State. Here's the 2-1, and that's inside ball 3.
Yeah, it's a big home win right there against Fresno State. I mean, they're no slouch.
Now, Fresno State was 18-18, I believe, on the season at that time. 3-1. Chopper, that will go foul to go to 3-2.
Yeah, they won themselves a national title. What was it?
2008, I believe.
Yeah, 9 years ago now. Jeez.
Seems like it was just yesterday, some ways, right?
I know. Seems like it was a pretty fresh win. As the lowest ranked seed to enter the tournament, that's pretty impressive.
Here's the 3-2 by Budnick. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Sandri his eyes got extremely big as that fastball was up around the letters.
Yeah.
So Budnick has retired 2 in a row, both of them via the strikeout here lately, as there's one out here in the bottom of the second. Struck out Hayes to end the first. Here's the first pitch to that's outside and high for ball 1. Boris flew out into foul territory to the catcher.
Yeah, that first pitch swinging.
0-1 into the shortstop, and it'll go off of him and go into left field.
Yeah, that hit the lip right there and bounced right over this. That was you couldn't hit that in a better spot. That looked like that was going to be an easy out.
So
easy 6-3, then it hits the lip of the infield. Wow.
Unlucky for the Pilots and unlucky for Kelly. It'll be a base hit, and they'll bring up James Free.
That's the kind you love right there. Jimmy Boris got away with it.
They'll bring up Matt Tarantino. Tarantino, after that double that he later scored on after the home run by Free. Now batting .305. Here's the first pitch to him, a curveball, and that goes low. Over the plate, but just low for ball 1.
Yeah, showing some patience up there, too. You could tell he wanted to take a swing, but...
Well, he saw the first pitch. He liked the first pitch in the first inning to rip a double.
Good discipline up there.
So Budnick with the runner on first. He'll check the runner, and he got him looking. He'll go ahead and apply the tag at second, and Boris is caught stealing. Go 3-6, I believe.
Yeah, they had him dead to rights. I guess he was going from move one.
So Matt Tarantino now with nobody on when 2 outs. Here's the 1-0, and that's a curveball inside and high, right about the letters for ball 2.
Yeah, I don't think Budnick wants to face the guy on deck.
2-0, and that is a ball that is lifted into center field. The center fielder trying to make a play off of it. It is going to fall, and Tarantino's going to run for a little bit. He'll race into third, and he will be standing up. I will be curious to see. That may be an error because that should have been a regular fly ball.
I got to give him a triple on that one. That's got to be, yeah, that's a triple.
They give him a triple,
yeah.
So now he has a double and a triple.
That wind is playing the devil with that ball out there, with that, especially that center fielder is not having a good day. That home run hit by Mr. Free right here in the first. Same thing. God, that ball's going to go out.
So James Free looking in, the switch-handed catcher. 1 for 1, batting .318 now. Here's the first pitch he sees, and that's outside. It'll get away from Copas. Racing in will be Tarantino. It is 4-1 Tigers. They answer right back, getting their run back.
Wow. Thank you very much, Portland.
So James Free taking a few seconds as he is waiting upon Kelly and Budnick now having a conversation.
There we go, fellas.
Oh,
trying to figure out on a Friday night, I know. There we go, folks.
The 1-0 by Free, or to Free, is a swing and a miss. Strike one.
Reggie Jackson-ish there.
Free homered in the first inning. Here's the 1-1. That is a called strike right on the outer corner to go to 1-2. Two outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Tigers answer right back, now lead 4-1. Here's the 1-2 to Free. Curveball outside, ball 2.
Good eye, James.
Deuces all around. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the second. Here's the 2-2 by Budnick. Outside, ball 3. So Free digs back in. Coming from the left side. Here's the 3-2. That skips away. He'll go ahead and flip the bat, and he'll take a little walk over to first as that's ball 4. Sometimes that's the best execution right there because Free's hot right now, and obviously so is Tarantino here all of a sudden, and brings up Ryan Schultz. Schultz had a base hit, later scored thanks to Blake Berry, and he'll dig in here.
Well, Schultz, Mr. Ryan Schultz has every reason to get a hit here. That'll put him above 300 for the season. 2 9er coming in. 1 for 1 on the day.
Here's the first pitch he'll see in this inning. That is in the dirt. Runner goes, but a wild pitch, and Free will be in the second safely. Second wild pitch that Budnick has thrown that has cost him and moved a runner into scoring position. That's what happened to Schultz here in the first inning. He had a base hit, a wild pitch moved him to second, and a base hit by Berry later scored him. Actually, it'll be a pass ball. The 1-0, and that is right up the middle off of Budnick. It'll go over to short. The shortstop will throw on to first, and so a little bit of a lucky play for the Portland Pilots. Will head to the top of the third. The Tigers will come up, the Pilots will come up. The Tigers lead 4-1 on the W.TV and on Tiger Digital Network.
Re-engineered to unique hexagon shape. Strike the match.
Statistics show that there are more than 500,000 homeless people in the United States. 500,000 who will not have a roof over their heads, not have a warm bed to fall asleep in, and not know where their next meal will come from. Over 2,000 of them live in our backyard of the greater Stockton area in San Joaquin County. Few are aware of their struggles. The Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity at the University of the Pacific and Stockton Mayor Michael Tubbs will be holding a homelessness awareness event from April 12th through the 14th. During this time, the men of Pike will be experiencing the life of a homeless person by sleeping outdoors, only receiving food by donation, and raising money for local shelters and food banks. Mayor Tubbs will be speaking to the school and addressing this issue of homelessness in Stockton. Donations can be made to Pike's Hit of Reality through check, cash, and card. Every dollar raised will go back into your Stockton community so that someone will know that they won't be falling asleep hungry tonight. This message is brought to you by the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity, Kappa Nu Chapter, Pacific Tiger Radio.
Top of the third inning here at Klein Family Field. Jeff Dominic along with the master, if you will, that being Mark Walsh, as he's getting ready to join me here for the second inning, or the third inning. Tigers leading 4-1. We'll see the 2-3-4 hitters for the Portland Pilots as they trail 4-1. It'll be Brundage, Kelly, and Wade. First pitch by Shreve is fouled back to go to 0-1. A little bit of a couple cleanup things. Schultz did get charged an error on that base hit, or what would look to be a base hit in the second, is now going to be charged an E3. The 0-1 is a swing and a miss by Brundage, and it goes to quickly 0-2. Schultz also got a little unlucky as he hit one hard off the pitcher Budnick and was unable to get a base hit.
Yeah, that was a bad break.
The 0-2 just misses outside for ball one.
Anytime you go 1-6-3, there's only one out. That's a funky play.
The 1-2. Curveball just misses. Wow. That was a good pitch by Shreve. And I don't know where that missed, but it was must have been a little too high to go to 2-2.
Not the largest of strike zones here tonight.
Here's the 2-2. And that is shot over to Carter Hayes and goes off of his glove. That is going to be his second error of the evening, and it goes into left.
That's tough. He just pushed that ball. It was almost like a swinging bunt in a way, the way he pushed it to third and just caught him.
So unfortunately for Carter Hayes, he'll be charged his second error at third. Brings up Matt Kelly. Kelly actually reached on an error by Hayes in the first. Pitch in the dirt, but Free was able to gather it. Brundage has 8 stolen bases on the season. He's also been caught stealing 7 times.
And they're doing anything to get him over. It looks like Matt Kelly, they're trying to get him to bunt.
Kelly looking in. Here's the pitch by Shreve. That is right up the middle, and that will land for a base hit into center field. So now runners on first and second, and still no outs.
Well, no need to bunt there.
First baseman number 32, Kevin Wade.
I'll bring up Kevin Wade. Kevin Wade 0 for 1 today. A .262 right-handed batter. Grounded out to the third baseman in the first inning. With 2 on here, no outs. Brundage on second, Kelly on first. Kelly will steal bases too. A lot of speed on this team. He's got 11. Here's the first pitch. And called a strike to Wade. Following Wade will be Hawken. Runners take their lead. Tigers in double play depth. Here's the 0-1. That's smashed into left center field. Boris giving it a ride, but it will land in there. And 1 run will score, and they will keep a runner on. Now there's a double, and it is now 4-2. Tigers still lead.
Wow. Went right against the scouting report there. They weren't playing him to hit it there.
Number 16, Cody Hawkins.
And that's exactly where you put it, right there in left center.
So still no outs, and a double to left center field. It brings up Cody Hawkins. Now with runners on second and third. The first pitch he sees is a rocket shot down the left field line, but it'll hook foul.
Well, they're definitely picking it up now. Whatever Shreve's throwing, they're seeing it. We're going to have a small pause here while that ball gets picked up.
Looks like that could be Keaton Glover running all the way to left field to gather that one. Hawkins digging back in. Shreve for the third straight inning now once again in the stretch. Here's the 0-1. And that is a shot over to the second baseman, Sondry. Sondry will gather it. He'll throw on to first. And that is the first out of the inning. But one more will score, and it is 4-3. Tigers still leading.
Designated hitter number 25, Mike Hicks.
Well, top of the third, they're willing to get that out, give that run up right now, so they're not playing in.
Brings up Mike Hicks, the designated hitter, batting 202. First pitch he sees will be fouled back into left field.
Barely missed that little kid.
Hawkins drew a walk in the, or excuse me, he flew out, or that was 101 is in the left field. That will just land down the left field line, just outside into the foul territory.
Yeah, Hicks was trying to push that the other way too. I guess maybe that's something they work on.
Hicks in the second inning, he flew out to the catcher. So the Pilots looking to tie this ball game back up. But Hicks looking into an 0-2 pitch by Shreve. Right-hander deals. And that is just outside for ball one.
Wow. That is a tight strike zone.
Shreve now with the 1-2. And that is a chopper down to first baseman Schultz. He'll go ahead and step on the bag. But the Pilots tie this ball game back up. It is 4-all here in the third inning.
Yeah, a couple quick
The catcher number 7, Devin Kopus.
Portland's right back in the thick of it now.
That brings up Devin Kopus. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. First pitch he sees is a shot right over to Carter Hayes. He gathers it up, throw on to first, and that ends the inning. So the Pilots were able to get 3 runs in this top of the third. We head to the bottom of the fourth, or bottom of the third. Tigers coming up as they are all tied up 4-all here on the W.TV and the Tiger Digital Network.
Will win a coupon for a free Rita's regular Italian ice. Plus, everyone in that row will receive a buy one get one free coupon.
Hey, John Mark.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, man, you like basketball? It doesn't matter what you like. The fact of the matter is that you need to get yourself to Jansen Longoria Gym.
Jeff, calm down. That blood nose is getting a little big right there, but what all you guys got to know is that Tiger Radio is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, April 29th, 12 to 6. Where is it, Jeff?
Jansen Longoria Gym. Plenty of prizes, great fun, great entertainment. The winner takes it all. You know it. Know your role and get yourself down right here. You can always sign up on TigerRadio.net.
So, get at it.
Oh, hell yeah! For all, as we've hit the bottom of the third inning for West Coast Conference baseball between the Portland Pilots and the University of Pacific Tigers. Jeff Dominic, along with Mark Walsh, thank you all very much for joining us here as Budnick will take the mound for the third inning. Tigers were able to get 3 runs in the first, 1 run in the second. Pilots were able to get 1 run in the second while getting 3 in the third. We'll see Danny Mayer leading things off for the Tigers. It'll be Mayer, Halstead, and Barry. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters.
And they walked him in 4 pitches last time, so let's see if Mr. Budnick's here is going to throw him anything to hit.
Budnick has been able to fairly settle things down after a tough first inning. Did give up a base hit and a triple in the second. First pitch to Mayer is rocketed down the left field line, and that's going to be foul. And hit off the third base umpire, Josh Gottlieb. That looked a little close.
Yeah, that was pretty close. But he's in foul territory. Now there's no way to see where exactly that crossed the plate. I mean, third base at, but.
The 0-1 is a curveball inside to go to 0-2. Here's the 0-2 to Mayer. That is in the dirt and skips away. It'll go to 1-2. What looks to be probably the third straight curveball that Danny Mayer has seen in this at-bat.
Not getting a lot of fastballs. That's kind of been the story of the season, unless it's inside on the hands.
So Budnick looks in. The righty deals. And that is rocketed down to third base. Hoogerwerf gets it. Throw on to first. A little high, but Wade gathers it, and that is out number 1.
See, at third base, sometimes it's easier to make a play when you can't really think about it. And that was hit pretty hard, so you didn't have to think about it long.
Brings up Lucas Halstead. Halstead saw the first pitch and swung into right field, just a fly ball that just didn't have much on it. Here's the first pitch he sees this time. A swing and a miss for strike 1.
He's swinging hard on that. Mr. Halstead is not out there to get robbed of his strokes, his swings.
Halstead 5 home runs, batting .225. With 1 out here in the bottom of the third, the 0-1 curveball in there for strike 2.
Wow. The strike zone has expanded a little bit this inning.
4-4 is our score here in the bottom of the third inning. Here's the 0-2, and that is a chopper over Budnick's head. Forgione will throw on to first, and it is a 4-3 throw out. Good job by Forgione.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play. Barely got Halstead.
27, Blake Berry.
And that brings up Blake Berry. Berry had a base hit, drove in Schultz. That was in the first inning. And Pilots looking to get a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the first pitch to Berry, and that is up high for ball 1. For the Pilots, will be 8-9-1. Be Hoogerwerf, Forgione, and Rosen. The 1-0 is a shot into center field. It's going to be kind of like a 3 different Pilots will try and get into it, and it'll just fall. And Berry will get in there with a double.
That was heads-up base running.
He was running all the way. It was in no man's land. It was in center field, but the center fielder was playing a little bit back, and Kelly and Forgione had no opportunity, and it just kind of landed in between them.
Third baseman
The Bermuda Triangle.
Right on. That's opportunistic hitting right there. That's a beautiful double.
And puts up Carter Hayes. Carter Hayes struck out to end the first inning and has had a little bit of tough time defensively as well, as he's counted for 2 of the 3 Tiger errors.
Well, here's a chance to get his first ribby of his college career.
First pitch he sees is in the dirt, kind of skips away, but Copas was able to get over there and gather it to go to 1-0.
They're playing him deep. Left fielder's right on the warning track.
Budnick on the first base side of the mound. The right-handed pitcher looks in from the stretch. Checks the runner back at second. Here's the 1-0. That is right at the knees at fastball on the outer half for strike 1. Four is our score. Portland Pilots 4 runs on 3 hits, while the Pacific Tigers 4 runs on 7 hits. That pitch misses outside to go to 2-1. Carter Hayes, unlike what Danny Mayer has obviously seen, has seen more fastballs in this at bat. I believe that'll be the 3rd straight one.
Yeah, they got something on them. I guess maybe that's why they're playing him so deep and left.
Kelly has actually shifted over, kind of outlining the left fielder Hawken. Big gap. Here's the 2-1, and that is a shot into third, or just out of the reach of the third baseman. It'll go into left. That will score a run, and Tigers retake the lead. It is 5-4, and Carter Hayes makes good.
There he goes.
With a 2-out base hit.
First RBI of his college career right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Second baseman number 8, Kevin.
A lot of good things to go around here. Is Blake Berry was able to have a good heads up, and he was running all the way, called it a double, and now Carter Hayes with the 2-out base hit puts the Tigers back in front, 5-4.
Yes. 9 runs, 3 innings. I thought the fireworks were tomorrow night.
They are.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what makes me scared. Sandri is up. He struck out as the first pitch he sees is fouled back into the netting to go to 0-1. He struck out to lead the second inning. Jimmy Boris on deck for the Tigers should Sandri reach. Sandri batting .281. Carter Hayes with his lead. The 1-0 is in the dirt. Go to 1-1. Sandri just now getting back into the batter's box, the right-handed batter. Looking at a 2-0 pitch. This should be a 1-1 pitch, excuse me. Here's the 1-1, and that is fouled back to go to 1-2. Sandri getting a rare start at second base, giving Carter Hayes a little action and giving Preston Movia probably a much-needed rest, considering we'll probably hopefully see him throughout the weekend. The 1-2 is just fouled off to remain 1-2.
Well, it's going to be beautiful this weekend. That wind's going to die down, I think, tonight. I hope. It's just smooth sailing for the rest of the weekend.
The 1-2 pitch by Budnick, and that is a shot into center field. Racing after it is Bundage. That will fall, and it is a base hit for Sandri. The runner, Hayes, moves over to third. He actually almost thought about running, as looked like Kelly had a little bit of a tough time trying to gather it. Now runners on the corners for Jimmy Boris. Back-to-back base hit, actually back-to-back base hits for the Tigers.
Bo Brundage is not having an easy time out there in center field. He's having trouble picking that ball up or something, because that's about 4th ball, I think, that he's either misplayed or just has not been able to get a good start on.
Well, and once again, with these wins, it's not the easiest to gather.
Definitely falling victim to this steady breeze, I guess you could say. Maybe a gale force wind, somewhere in between.
So now Boris is in a good spot here with 2 outs, runners on the corners. He can hopefully get one with the base hit as that pitch is in the dirt to go to ball one. So Carter Hayes on third, Sondri on first. Hayes had the base hit to drive in and give the regain the lead for the Tigers. Sondri has a base hit and moved the runner to third. Here's the 1-0 by Boris. A swing and a chopper foul, and it'll go to 1-1. Boris, the left-handed batter, the senior. Actually, I believe he's one of 3 seniors in today's game for the Tigers. Actually, the Pilots have 4 seniors starting tonight.
Wow.
Here's the 1-1. Check the runners at third, fake to first. A good friend Paul Meiskin's favorite play.
Yeah, that is the least exciting play to watch in sports.
So Budnick once again in the stretch. He was looking to get a 1-2-3 inning, but after the double, it was unsuccessful. There's a shot into center, the throw to first, and that will be out number 3. So the Tigers get one back. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Tigers lead 5-4 over the Pilots on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
On the Tiger Hits. All right, Tiger fans, it's time for our David's Dash for a Prize promotion.
Everybody needs clean water, especially Ariel the Little Mermaid and all her friends under the sea.
Flounder, hurry up.
And no matter where you live, what you do above the ocean affects all the living creatures below it.
Scuttle, look what we found.
Human stuff, huh? To keep our oceans clean, recycle and dispose of trash properly.
Isn't it fantastic?
To learn what you can do, go to keepoceansclean.org. This has been a message from Environmental Defense, the National Marine Sanctuary Foundation,
Statistics
NOAA,
say
and
that
the
4
Ad
out of 10 high school students will drop out of high school. But sometimes the difference between dropping out and finishing is a boost.
I sort of got messed up into gangs, and this one girl named Maria, she just told me to get my things straight, and ever since then, she's been there for me.
10 real-life, at-risk students are filming their year, so you can see what it's really like trying to get through high school. Go to boostup.org to see their stories and give someone you know a boost so they can finish. High school is hard. Graduating is harder. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Lincoln Center is Stockton's premier shopping and dining destination. Enjoy boutique shopping, our award-winning restaurants, and family-friendly atmosphere. Conveniently located at Pacific Avenue and Benjamin Holt, less than 15 minutes from the University of the Pacific. Visit LincolnCenterShops.com for a list of stores that offer a discount to all UOP students. Lincoln Center, always in style. We've reached the top of the 4th inning. 5-4 is our score here as the Tigers have regained the lead in the bottom of the 3rd after Portland was able to score 3 runs in that 3rd to tie everything up. We'll see the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Pilots will be Copas as he swings away the first pitch he sees for strike 1. Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh, thank you all very much for joining us here tonight. And a windy but beautiful day here at Klein Family Field. The 1-0-1 is fouled back to go to 0-2.
Yeah, if it weren't for the wind, this would be perfect. But there's wind.
Here's the 0-2 pitch is Shreve taking his time in the stretch, and that will be fouled away down the left field line to remain 0-2. Shreve so far tonight, 3 innings pitched. He's given up 3 hits, 4 runs. Only one of those runs is going to be earned.
Wow. That's tough.
He's up to 60 pitches now. He makes it at 61. He'll be the 62nd pitch that Shreve will throw. Here's that 0-2. Caught him looking, strike 3.
Just the outside part of the plate.
And a well-framed pitch by James Free. A good pitch by Ryan Shreve. Caught Kopas Lukin.
Oh, that was Hoogervorf.
Oh, excuse me, that was Hoogerworf. I apologize. And that brings up Forgione. As that pitch misses outside for ball one.
That looked like the same pitch from struck out Hoogervorf. Anyone that's making fun of how I'm pronouncing that, look it up on the internet and pronounce it yourself.
No, it's got a pronunciation. It's Hoogerwerf.
Hoogerwerf, okay.
It actually says on the Portland Pilots baseball roster, it rhymes with Nerf.
Oh, sweet. Okay, Hoogerwerf. Okay, cool. Well, that's good to know.
And here's another good name, Forgione. Michael Forgione, the second baseman. First pitch is right up the middle, and Forgione is 1 for 2 tonight as he reached on an error. That was to Schultz. Now he has a base hit. So on a 1-0 pitch, and brings up Jason Rosen. Rosen 0 for 2. And for Forgione, he's got 5 stolen bases. This team right here can steal some bases.
Yeah, they got some wheels.
Check the runner back. Umpires for tonight, once again, home plate umpire Barney Navarro, first base Kevin Walken, and Josh Gottlieb at third. Actually, he's playing more around the second base area after the base hit. So here's the first pitch to Rosen, and it is called a strike on the outer corner, just about the thigh high. So the 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss by Rosen to go to 0-2.
Waving at that off-speed stuff.
Rosen has struck out. That was in the second inning. With one out, here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. For Shreve, that is strikeout number 4.
Center fielder, number 2, Brundage.
And it brings up Brundage. Brundage has a base hit. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He had a base hit in the first, had a stolen base, and then got caught stealing, and then reached on an error, later scored in the third. First pitch, runner goes, throw to second, and that skips away from the second baseman, Sondri, and it'll be a stolen base, and Free is not happy about it. He thought he actually had him.
That ball was on the money. I don't blame him. That was a heck of a throw. Right exactly where you want it.
But a stolen base by Forgione. Now a runner in scoring position for the arguably the second best hitter in this lineup for the Pilots is Brundage. The 1-0 is low, ball 2. And I only say that because I'm looking average wise. He's batting .276. He's the highest batting average currently in the lineup, the second highest. That followed by Kelly, who's following him. Here's the 2-0, swing and a miss for strike 1. Bo Brundage, we mentioned he's from Georgia. Redshirt freshman. Standing 6'4".
Wow.
Very upright batting stance. Left-handed batter. Here's the 2-1 Shreve as Shreve looks at second. Second look at second. Now he'll just step off and look the runner back. For Forgione, that's his 7th stolen base of the season. Here's the 2-1 by the righty. A swing and a fly ball into left field. That will fall. A run will score. And the Pilots tie things back up 5-all here in the top of the fourth.
Well, this is an evenly matched game. These two teams are scrapping it out.
The shortstop, number 20, Matt Kelly.
And brings up Matt Kelly. Kelly 1 for 2. He had a base hit in the third, later scored off the Hawken fielder's choice. For the Tigers, we'll see the 2-3-4 hitters. That'll be Tarantino, Free, and Schultz. Here's the first pitch to Kelly as he was swinging around a bunt. Shreve gathers it. He'll throw on to first, and that'll end the inning. So the Pilots were able to get one run, and they tie everything back up. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning, 5-5, here on the W.TV and on the Pacific Tiger Digital Network.
Picked up the Scholarshire Tiger 4-pack for the next home game.
In 1805, Lewis and Clark described in their journals a country teeming with wildlife.
Bison as far as the eye can see, rivers churning with fish.
They wrote of scenes of endless beauty and of meeting more than 100 nations of American Indian whose lives were one with our environment. Now, imagine what Lewis and Clark and the American Indians they met would say if they walked the trail today. Would they be pleased?
There are herds of homes where the buffalo once roamed.
Or would they feel differently?
Something must be done to save what's left of this great place.
As we commemorate the Lewis and Clark bicentennial, we encourage you to consider what's been lost and what we can do to preserve what's left of the trail that still winds through us all. Walk with Lewis and Clark and see what you discover at www.lewisandclark200.org.
This is a public service message of the National Council of the Lewis and Clark Bicentennial, the Missouri Historical Society, and the Ad Council.
Pacific Athletics would like to thank Bank of Stockton for their generous support. Bank of Stockton, a proud partner of Pacific Athletics. We've reached the bottom of the fourth inning here at Klein Family Field. An entertaining game if you like runs. It is 5-all. And the Tigers coming up, we'll see the 2-3-4 hitters. It'll be Tarantino, Free, and Schultz. Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh. Thank you all very much for joining us here as West Coast Conference Baseball is in extremely full swing, and actually probably, I'd say, on the downhill slope as the Portland Pilots visiting the Tigers. And last time that these two teams matched up, it was a sweep for the Tigers as Tarantino's first pitch swinging will go into foul territory. The first baseman will gather it and make the out as Wade makes the catch.
The Tiger catcher, number 28.
Bring up James Free. Free having a fairly successful night so far. He had a home run in the first and a walk in the second. And the outfielders, all of them, as the first pitch is a called strike on the outer half for strike one. All the outfielders for the Pilots are just about, I'd say, 2 or 3 steps away from the warning track, except for, I would say, the right fielder, Rosen.
Yeah, he's playing the shallowest. Everybody else is about standing on the track.
Free digs back in, the switch hitting batter batting from the left side to the right-handed Budnick. Here's the 0-1, just missing, a curveball that just misses for 1-1. Looked like a pretty good pitch by Budnick. Budnick so far through 3 1/3, he's given up 9 hits, 5 runs, as the 1-1 misses low for 2-1. 5 runs, 4 of those runs being earned. He struck out 2 batters, giving up 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run tonight.
Yeah, I think he's only given up 5 runs off that kind of extra base hit production. Not in that bad a shape, considering.
The 2-1, and that'll be fouled back into the netting to go to 2-2.
I guess anytime you're pitching in a tight game, you're always in good shape, so.
So both teams have scored in every inning except for the top of the first so far tonight. The 2-2 is well high and outside for ball 3, a curveball that just never even found a home.
Yeah, he let that slip right out of his hand. Oh, he needs a new ball now.
They'll switch up a little bit. Umpire will rub one up for him, and he'll go ahead and put it back in the pocket. Here's the 3-2, the payoff pitch. And that is a shot in the center field. That will fall, and a base hit for James Free. Bobbled by the center fielder, but Free was already holding up, and that will be another base hit. Put Free 2 for 2 tonight.
Wow.
But he's reached base 3 times.
Number 33, Ryan Schultz.
Bring up Ryan Schultz. Schultz is 1 for 2. He had a base hit in the first, later scored thanks to Blake Berry, and also grounded 6-3 after an unlucky bounce hit off the pitcher, found the shortstop, and he threw to first. The sun pretty much faded away. It's mostly in left field. As I actually look at Hawken, he's guarding his face. The first pitch Schultz sees is a curveball and a swing and a miss for strike 1.
He's swinging hard. He wants to make up for that hit he got robbed of last time up.
Tigers 5 runs on 10 hits, and we're only through 3 1/3.
Yeah.
While the Pilots are 5 runs on 5 hits.
Yeah, those 3 errors don't help.
The 0-1, a swing and a drive into left center field. Hawken looking like he has a beat on it. It's off the wall, and it will put Free on to third. He'll get waved home. Play at the plate. They tell him to dive. Did they get him? They got him. Free actually trying to signal safe, but a double by Schultz.
That was a perfect throw from the cutoff man. That shortstop has a great arm. And Free kind of stumbled a little bit around third, and combination of those two is what cost him that run right there. Wow, that was a heck of a relay from Portland.
And while everyone kind of calms down a little bit, actually we'll see the head coach, Jeff Loomis, go out and have a chat with the pitcher. No signal to the bullpen, so
they got the shortstop coming in to pitch. Oh, no, they're going to the bullpen.
They are going to the bullpen, so a little bit of a, looks like there may be a couple little changes. We'll go ahead and step aside. When we come back, we'll tell you who the new pitcher is. And it is currently 5-all here at Klein Family Field on the Tiger Digital Network.
That's the Big Dipper over there, and there's the Little Dipper.
Rub the balloon on your head like this, and then it'll stick to the wall.
Brown shoes, brown belt. Black shoes, black belt.
Pucker your lips, leave a little hole like this, blow out, and that's how you whistle.
And that's why radios don't go near the bathtub.
Come on, Riff! Open your eyes! Get some glasses, you idiot!
Remember, you're always teaching. Teach carefully. React with rage, and kids will learn it's okay to do the same. Keep your cool, and kids will do likewise. For a few quick pointers, visit actagainstviolence.org or call 877-ACT-WISE for a free brochure.
Well, a cow pie really isn't a pie.
Brought to you by MetLife Foundation, National Association for the Education of Young Children, and the Ad Council.
Hey, John Mark.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, man, you like basketball? It doesn't matter what you like. The fact of the matter is that you need to get yourself to Jansen Longoria Gym.
Jeff, calm down. That blood dose is getting a little big right there, but what all you guys got to know is that Tiger Radio is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, April 29th, 12 to 6. Where is it, Jeff?
Jansen Longoria Gym. Plenty of prizes, great fun, great entertainment. The winner takes it all. You know it. Know your role and get yourself down. Right here, you can always sign up on TigerRadio.net.
So, get at it.
Oh, hell yeah!
In a world where your tires are your only connection to the road, one man, 4 tires, free air. An epic battle against underinflation, tire damage, and even tire failure. In the ultimate fight for properly inflated tires, the warrior gives his heart, his soul, to keep those he loves safe on the road. Tires will inflate. Money will be saved. A message from the Rubber Manufacturers Association.
Hey everyone, want to remind you to mark your calendars actually for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the only fireworks night. That is on Saturday, April 29th versus Portland, hosting the only fireworks night here at Klein Family Field. Once again, that is limited tickets remaining. Grab yours today. Head online to go.pacific.edu/tickets, and that is presented by Amy Scrivens, DDS. Pitching change here for the Portland Pilots. That means Tate Budnick's night is done. It's Jordan Horrock. Horrock, 5.06 ERA. He's 1-7 on the season. 48 innings pitched. He's given up 44 hits, 27 earned runs, and he has a formidable foe in Danny Mayer as he deals for the first pitch inside for strike one.
It came after one with fastball first pitch, and I guess Danny doesn't see that a lot, especially from a left-hander.
The 0-1 by Horrock, a curveball that gets caught. Danny Mayer looking for strike two. That was close, and I thought that was a little low.
Yeah.
Horrock, a 6'2" junior from Lake Oswego, Oregon. I hope I said that correctly. If not, I apologize. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Tigers were threatening. Here's the 0-2, and that is in the dirt for ball one. Tigers were threatening. They had a base hit by James Free with 1 out, and then a double by Schultz with assistant coach Michael Ruvenkamp at third base waving Free home. He was caught in what was a 7-6-2 relay. Here's the 1-2 and another curveball that goes into the dirt for ball two.
Yeah, that shortstop, whoever that is has a great arm for Portland.
2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs in a 5-5 ball game here in the bottom of the fourth. Horrock looking in, taking his time. Now he'll get into the stretch. He'll look the runner at second. Here's the 2-2. A swing and a chopper that will kind of just head over to...
Ooh, looks like Danny kind of hurt himself a little bit. Kind of turned on that foot a little bit too hard.
He's kind of checking both ankles at this point. And the home plate umpire, Barney Navarro, will go ahead and give him a little time. He's going to go ahead and dust off the plate and kind of threw a baseball over to the pitcher, and Danny adjusting his gloves and taking as much time as he can, getting ready for this 2-2 pitch. He'll in fact check the ankles one more time. It kind of flexes it looks like the left ankle or left foot area. Horrock looks. Here's the 2-2, and that is fouled back into the netting. They remain 2-2. Lucas Halstead on deck. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Mayer is 0 for 1. He the third baseman in the third inning. Once again with 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers on 5 runs and 11 hits. Here's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Caught him swinging, and that ends the inning. So the Tigers get a couple on, but are unable to capitalize. We head to the top of the 5th inning. 5-all our score here at Klein Family Field on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
Hey, John Mark.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, man, you like basketball? It doesn't matter what you like. The fact of the matter is that you need to get yourself to Jansen Longoria Gym.
Jeff, calm down. That blood dose is getting a little big right there, but what all you guys got to know is that Tiger Radio is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, April 29th, 12 to 6. Where is it, Jeff?
Jansen Longoria Gym. Plenty of prizes, great fun, great entertainment. The winner takes it all. You know it. Know your role and get yourself down. Right here, you can always sign up on TigerRadio.net.
So, get at it.
Oh, hell yeah!
Wingstop is the destination when you crave fresh, cooked-to-order wings with bold, layered flavors. for the nearest location or to order online, visit wingstop.com. Top of the 5th here at Klein Family Field. Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh. Thank you all very much for joining us here, as it has been an entertaining game through 4 innings, as it is 5-all. Portland Pilots have scored their 5 runs in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, the 3rd inning being a crooked number as they scored 3 runs in that 3rd. The Tigers got their crooked number in the 1st, and then they scored 1 run in consecutive innings, but were unable to score anything in the 4th. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. It'll be Wade, Hawken, and Hicks, as Ryan Shreve will work his 5th inning. Here's the 1-0, and a curveball that just misses for ball 2. The bullpen over in the Tigers area just got a couple pitchers look like they moved over, as the 2-1 is smacked hard, but it'll go foul down the left field. For Wade, he did have a double in the 3rd. He drove in on that double. He drove in 1. What was that big 3-run inning, as that pitch gets really high by Shreve.
Yeah, that's a curveball that got away.
So for Wade, he's looking at a 3-1 pitch to lead things off for the Pilots. Here's the 3-1. And it is pop fly into possibly that central area, but actually it was Boris who had a good read on it. He charged in, made the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, they don't have to contend with the sun anymore out there, so.
The lights are on. They're not fully in effect, as there's still a little bit of sun right at the fringe of the left field wall. The wind has, compared to what it was about an hour ago, has truly subsided. It's still windy, but not to the extent it was earlier. First pitch swinging was Hawken. It goes into foul territory down the right field, and it'll land foul just above the dugout of the Pilots. Shreve at 78 pitches, young freshman, has given up 5 runs, but only 2 of them earned. Here's the 0-1. That is a curveball, belt high, called for a strike. Hawken did not seem to really like it too much. Didn't say anything. He just kind of stepped out. You could see in his emotion, or in his reaction, he just kind of didn't seem that was a strike. Here's the 0-2. And that is smacked into center field. Racing back is Boris. Still going back. Looking up off the wall. That will be a triple, as Hawken is being waved all the way around. Diving in, and there is a 1-out triple by Hawken.
Yeah, about 2 feet to the right, and that would have been a home run right there. That was driven well in the left center. Right at the 405.
Found the deepest part of the ballpark, and
that ball is carrying, gosh.
That brings up Mike Hicks. Hicks drove in a run after a ground out to the first baseman, Schultz. But now in a good spot here with Hawken on 3rd and only 1 out. First pitch, and that is smacked into center field, and that will be a base hit. That will drive a run. Portland Pilots have their first lead of the ball game as they lead 6-5.
Yeah, Portland never say die.
And for Hicks, that's his first base hit tonight. And they now have 7 hits.
Hard to believe they're winning the game with less hits. But it is baseball. Crazier things have happened.
Brings up Devin Copas.
Whoa.
First pitch was a little
high.
Wow. And swinging away was Copas, and that's strike 1.
Yeah, that's one of those things you swing and immediately you're like, oh my God.
That was all defensive, though. Runner on first, that's Hicks. He drove in a run. He drove in Hawken after the 1-out triple. Here's the 0-1. That's in the dirt, but a good job by Free to keep it in front of him to go to 1-1. Pilots have the lead, 6-5. Their first lead of the evening. Shreve looking in. Here's the run. Oh, he checks the runner back at first. Didn't throw, just did a check with the ball in hand. Hicks does not have a stolen base on the season, which is rare for me to say because usually the shortstops are, or excuse me, that's the Hicks is the DH.
Yeah.
Hicks listed as an infielder, so
He's got to be a first baseman. He's like 6'8".
Hicks is very tall. He's actually he's listed 6'6", so close enough.
6, okay.
Here's the 1-1 by Shreve, and that is smacked hard, but it'll go down the left field line and hook foul.
Ooh. That's the same kid that almost got hit earlier. Yeah, she's playing with fire out there. He's got a bag full of balls, but he's got to make sure he doesn't take one to the head.
Now she's cleaning up. Good for her.
Oh, yeah, she jumped in.
All right, Shreve looks in from the stretch. Here's the 1-2. And that's low, a curveball that just misses low to go to 2-2. Tigers known for their rallies as they trail now 6-5. Have had quite a few this season. Most notably last week against Fresno State. Also had one against San Jose State. Here's the 2-2. And that is over to the third baseman, Carter Hayes. He catches it, throw on to first, and just safely getting back was Hicks.
About as close as you can get there at first. Heck of a play down there, Hayes. That feels good.
Carter Hayes had a little bit of a struggle to start the game. He had 2 errors in 3 innings. But since then, albeit that it's only the 5th, has had a couple of web gem material type plays.
Yeah.
So 2 outs here in the top 5th. And that brings up Hoogerwerf. First pitch he sees is a ball, snap throw to first, but safely back once again is Hicks. Hoogerwerf would love to have his night of fortunes change here a little bit. He's struck out twice, once swinging, the other time just looking. That was in the 2nd and 4th inning. Shreve looks in. Here's the 1-0 by the righty. That is well outside. Good job by Free. He's been dancing behind the plate all night.
He's got some work in tonight, that's for sure.
For Tigers, it'll be 6, 7, and 8. It'll be Halstead, Berry, and Hayes here in the bottom of the 5th. On deck is Forgione. Here's the 2-0, and that is popped
way
into center field. And it goes off the glove. It tried to make a sliding grab was Boris. And now standing on second is Hoogerwerf. And Hicks comes in to score at 7-5 Pilots.
Yeah, I think Boris gave up on that thinking that was going to be caught by someone else and didn't really expect to make the plays. The center fielder, that's your ball until someone, definitely confirms that it's theirs. Oh, Lord. Yeah, he was kind of surprised by that.
So Hoogerwerf now on second, and Forgione is up to plate. He had a base hit in the 4th, had a stolen base, and later scored. And in fact, there's going to be a little meeting on the mound with head coach Mike New, Shreve, and the rest of the infield. We want to let you know that every Tuesday is home game is $2 tacos all game long at Klein Family Field. Grab yours today, or grab your friends, and enjoy the $2 tacos on Tuesday with the Pacific Tigers. The next one is on the 9th. UC Davis coming up.
Count me in.
May
I'll be here.
9th.
Yeah. Our rivals from up the road a little ways.
Take the little 99, call it good, right?
Yeah, exactly. I will be eating $2 tacos unless I'm in the booth. Then I'll be eating free hot dogs. Oh, here we go.
That'll end Shrave's night. So we'll go ahead and step aside. And when we come back, we will give you the pitching change and all the information you need to know about him when we come right here on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
Ever think of light bulbs as being cool? They are if you choose energy-efficient bulbs and fixtures that have earned the government's Energy Star label. They're so hot, they're cool. Because they burn cool and last up to 10 times longer, you save money and oodles of energy. Change a light, help the environment, save some green. The solution is as close as your nearest lamp socket. Brighten your environmental future. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
My name's Rachel, and I'm 10 years old. I like riding my bike, playing soccer, and in 8 years, I'll be an alcoholic. I'll start drinking in middle school, just at parties. My friends will drink, so I will too.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults.
My parents won't really know what's going on yet. I mean, I'll do okay in school, but when I drink, I'll do some things I don't really want to do. So by the time my parents talk to me about it, alcohol won't be my only problem.
Alcohol affects their judgment and their future, so start talking before they start drinking.
My parents won't believe it could happen to me.
For more information on teens and alcohol, and to learn what you can do, visit the web at stopalcoholabuse.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Ad Council, and this station.
Hey, John Mark.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, man, you like basketball? It doesn't matter what you like. The fact of the matter is that you need to get yourself to Jansen Longoria Gym.
Jeff, calm down. That blood vessel is getting a little big right there, buddy. But all you guys got to know is that Tiger Radio is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, April 29th, 12 to 6. Where is it, Jeff?
Jansen Longoria Gym. Plenty of prizes, great fun, great entertainment. The winner takes it all. You know it. Know your role and get yourself down. Right here, you can always sign up on TigerRadio.net.
So, get at it.
Oh, hell yeah!
New pitcher for the Pacific Tigers, it is going to be Bailey Hansen. Hansen, the extremely tall right-handed pitcher. 386 batting, or ERA 386. First pitch he sees, or he sends off to Forgione, is outside for ball 1. There also is a pinch runner standing over at second. Give you him in a second as the 1-0 is outside and low, ball 2. Hansen, 3.86 ERA. He's given up 7 earned runs. He struck out 8 and only walked 6 this season. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. The Portland Pilots have been able to score 2 to break this 5-5 tie. They now lead 7-5 as the 2-0 is up high for ball 3.
Pacific has put themselves in a hole. Giving up this crooked number this inning. Gosh. Got to bear down on the mound.
So here's the 3-1 pitch. That's going to be by Hansen. Looks like they're going to try and get some innings eaten up by him. He's pitched 16 1/3 so far. Here's the 3-0. Right on the outer half for strike 1.
Way to bear down for that strike.
Taking all the way was Forgione.
He's only got 6 walks on the season, so you don't expect to see real command issues here.
Hansen looking back. Here's the 3-1 by the righty. Right down the middle for strike 2.
Way to come back. He's working back. Full count.
And pinch running is Cal Webb. Here's the 3-2, and that is outside for ball 4. Not sure if Huger Wharf is anything to worry about or if this is standard for the Pilots. And brings up Jason Rosen. Rosen, the right fielder, is 0 for 3. He's struck out twice, most recently in the 4th. Here's the first pitch. Misses outside, ball 1.
Yeah, that is kind of an unusual move with 2 outs by Portland to get a pinch runner on second base, unless he was hurt, I guess. Or maybe he's just got really limited speed to he doesn't have a stolen base all season. That could be it, too.
Cal Webb, the 6'2" freshman from Spokane, Washington. Here's the 1-0 by Hansen. That is low and inside. Ball 2. So Hansen comes in after Shreve pitches 4 2/3 with the runner on second. And then Hansen comes in and draws a walk to the first batter he sees. That's Forgione. Here's the 2-0. And that is going to skip away, and it actually bobs around, and both runners will advance to second and third. And we still only have, it's a 3-0 count coming up with 2 outs.
Yeah, 7 out of his first 9 pitches are balls. Not the best way to start the evening, but getting out right here, it's all water under the bridge.
Well, with the 3-0 pitch to Rosen, you'll almost assume that he's not going to take the bat off the shoulder. And
yeah.
Of course, if he does, the runner's going on first contact. So it's a lot of things going to happen here. Here's the 3-0. And that is in there for strike 1. So with 2 outs, looking at a 3-1. Rosen, the left-handed batter, digs back in. Here's the 3-1 by the righty. And that gets away, skips away, and a run will score. It's now 8-5.
That's frustrating right there. That just skipped right through catcher's legs.
And that will probably be a pass ball.
Yeah.
Center fielder number 2, Bo Brundage.
Brings up Brundage. Bo Brundage, 2 for 3. Drove in a run in the 4th later, and also scored in the 3rd after he reached on an error. Eight runs on 8 hits.
This is his 147th at bat this season, so he's been an active member of this lineup all year long.
First pitch, a fastball in the outer half for strike 1. Brundage also has a stolen base and was caught stealing. That was all in the 1st. He had a lot of action going on in that 1st inning. Here's the 0-1. And that is also a fastball in the outer corner for strike 2. So Hansen coming in here trying to minimize as much as he can, get the Tigers back up, as it'll be Halstead, Berry, and Hayes for the Tigers. 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Here's the 0-2 as Hansen looks at the runner at first. The righty deals. Runner goes, throw to second. No one's covering, and Sondri will take it, but a run will score as Forgione scores, and it is now 9-5 Pilots.
Yeah, I think there's some communication issues going on in the field right now. There's either a communication issue or some kind of lack of focus out there, because when you got somebody stealing second, the catcher throws it down and no one's covering. It's inexcusable on a baseball field.
So Rosen will be credited with the stolen base. His second stolen base of the season. And now he's in scoring position. And the Pilots have scored 4 runs.
Well, Pacific isn't making it difficult for him. If nothing else, they've primed themselves for a great comeback victory this evening.
It is now 9-5 for the Pilots. Bailey Hansen looking in. That run will be charged unearned. Swing and a miss. Strikes out Brundage. But the Pilots were able to score 4. We head to the bottom of the 5th. The Tigers coming up to bat. They trail 9-5 here on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
Kids will have the chance to learn baseball directly from Pacific baseball players and coaches.
I know, being a college freshman is supposed to be tough, but let me tell you about my schedule this semester. All 18 credits. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have American Lit at 8:05 a.m. And then I only have 15 minutes to get to my 9:15 Ethics and Value Theory class, all the way across campus. Then in the afternoon, Calculus 1. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have 2 lectures that go through lunch. Sociology of Families, then Intro to Microbiology. Pre-med. And finally, I have a double lab that ends around 9 p.m. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you.
If a kid will do whatever it takes to get through college, what will you do to send her there? Please support the United Negro College Fund and call 1-800-332-UNCF, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. A public service brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Pacific Athletics would like to thank Chase Chevrolet for their generous support. Chase Chevrolet, a proud partner of Pacific Athletics. Bottom of the 5th inning here. Tigers trailing the Portland Pilots. West Coast Conference Baseball here. Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh. Thank you all very much for joining us here. We'll see the 6, 7, and 8 hitters will be Halstead, Berry, and Hayes, as the first pitch to Halstead is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Halstead 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to the second baseman in the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-1, and that's inside. Ball 1.
That was a tough inning to watch last inning. We're a tough top of the frame.
Depends on who's viewing. If you're the Portland Pilots fans, you're absolutely excited. So
exactly,
they did everything right in order to score be at 9 runs. Here's the 1-1, and that's a high fly ball. And
that ball's
the
lost.
Catcher is not sure where it's at. The pitcher has to make a little bit of a stumbling grab. Horak does a great job, kind of chasing over the mound for out number 1.
That was a great play. That ball was lost from the catcher.
Yeah,
by the catcher.
Number 27, Blake Berry.
And Cal Webb is now in the game. He's now at 3rd. You can only assume that, and for hopes everybody, that Hoogerwerf is okay. Werf is okay, because I did not see anything, but he was standing on 2nd, and then Webb came in to pinch run. Here's the first pitch to Berry, squaring around a bunt, pulled back and called strike. Nevertheless, it's 0-1. We'll definitely keep an eye out and see if Hoogerwerf
hopefully it was just
plays in the game 2. Here's the 0-1 to Berry. A swing and a miss for strike 2.
preventative measures, but you never know.
The 0-2 by the lefty. Inside, ball 1. A lot of chatter coming from the Portland side. Different atmosphere than it was in probably, I would say, the second inning.
Yeah.
They were down 4-1, and they kept battling back. And the chance and the regular back and forth. Here's the 0-2 outside for ball 2. 2-2. But the banter, if you will, has been always fun to hear as well. But it's
pretty one-sided right now, that's for sure.
The 2-2 is swung on into center field. It will drop for a base hit. So give Blake Berry a single, a double, and another single with one out. to bring up Carter Hayes. Carter Hayes, that's got to be a country singer's name,
I know,
isn't
right?
it?
It is a cool name.
Carter Hayes.
Carter Hayes.
Carter Hayes, the infield freshman from Carmel, California. So it's runner on first with one out.
He's got a chance to really move his batting average. He started below 100. He's batting at 154 now.
And one of the very few starts is there's a shot into left field. That will, on the run is Hawken. Having to run back is Barry, and they may double him up. Oh, he's just safe in time.
Wow. That was a heck of a throw from left field. Hawken, he's got a cannon.
Barry almost had it, well, did lose a step as he started to slip around second.
Kevin Sondry.
That did look like it was dropping. I mean, Carter Hayes got robbed a little bit there.
Hayes gave it a ride. And it'll bring up Kevin Sondry. Sondry 1 for 2. He struck out in the second, had a base hit in the third. Here's the first pitch he sees, a swing and a miss for strike one. So that'll put Horrock on the hook for the win as he checks the runner back at first.
Yep, that's right. He's on the...
Right, that could. I shouldn't say that will, because we still got to get through 5. But with 2 outs,
we still got a lot of ball game left.
Absolutely. The way this game's played out, nothing's certain at this point.
Who knows?
Here's the 0-1. That is going to be a breaking ball that hits the outer corner or inner corner for strike one. Almost looked like a little bit of a slide piece right there. Because it wasn't a fastball, but it was also. I mean, his arm delivery is kind of unique as well. It's more of a wouldn't say a sidearm, but more of a 3/4.
It's a weird angle. It comes in on you quick.
But he slides his hips when he pitches, so it almost looks like a sidearm.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2 to Sondry. That is up high for ball one. And as I say that, he changed his angle. He throws in different angles.
Yeah. He's got some different looks out there. I will tell you what, it's the bottom of the 5th right now. It's been 2 hours to get us, over 2 hours to get us here. This has been
it's going to be a long night.
Drawn out affair.
9-5 is our score. Check the runner back at first as Barry runs back. For the Pilots, it's 9 runs on 7 hits. No errors. For the Tigers, it's 5 runs on 12 hits, but 4 errors. And that pretty much is the difference in our ball game for the most part.
There's 4 errors.
So here's the 1-2 to Sondry. That is up high. It's Jordan Horrock. 1-7. He struck out 35 different batters, and only walked 16. 4.96 ERA.
That's not bad.
Just a junior. Get to see him one more year. Once again, checking the runner back. That's Barry. Barry has a stolen base on the season. Barry on first. He had the 1-out base hit, standing there after Carter Hayes flew out to left. Here's the 2-2. That is fouled back and would have been about eye level for us.
Yeah.
Maybe a little higher than that.
Thank God for the net and the window.
So Sondry looking in once again at a 2-2 pitch by Jordan Horrock. The lefty looking in. Checks the runner at first. Junior deals. And that is a shot into right field. Under it, it looks like is going to be Rosen. That's a race back. It falls. I want to say that he may have lost it. And holding up is Barry at third. I want to say he lost it because I thought he had a play on it.
Yeah.
And they're going to call that a double to right field. And a runner on third.
Number 7, Jimmy Boris.
And now Barry on third. And 2 runners in scoring position for the Tigers. As that'll bring up Jimmy Boris. Boris 1 for 3 tonight. That was in the second inning. Here's the first pitch, and that's outside, ball 1. Two outs still here in the bottom of the 5th. It's been an extended 5th inning. And once again, I thought Rosen had a beat on it, and I'm trying to see if the field is playing a little bit of a trick on both teams, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's got to be hard to pick it up. I mean, a little hazy sky like this.
The lights have taken effect, so
Yeah.
there obviously is no sun at this time of night. 8:10. Here's the 0-2, and that's 2-0, and that's fouled back to go to 2-1.
Well, Pacific's got themselves in prime spot here to claw back a little bit.
Oh, base hit might score 2. Sondri's got the best speed that we see on this lineup here. He's got the 4 stolen bases. Barry, obviously, he's got good speed. He's got 1. Here's the 2-1, and that is just low for ball 3.
Wow. That's a good eye there. That ball looked pretty darn close.
And we've seen the umpire has had a little bit of a small strike zone tonight. He's been about equal all the way through. Here's the 3-1. That is a chopper over to the first baseman. He bobbles it. Got to flip it on to first. Does he get him? He got him!
Wow.
That is out number 3. So the Tigers get threatened but are unsuccessful. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Portland Pilots leading 9-5 on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
It's time for our Nothing But Movies contest.
That was a great play. Jeez.
Here's how the contest works. In a few seconds, we'll play a clip of the movie out the video.
My hero doesn't wear a cape or have superpowers. She doesn't slay dragons or kill wizards. No one wants my hero's autograph. She never goes to Hollywood parties, and she definitely doesn't have a star on the Walk of Fame. My hero doesn't try to sell me soda, candy bars, cereal, or cheeseburgers.
You won't hear my hero song on the radio. He doesn't have a crew, bling bling, or a mansion.
You can't buy my hero's makeup line, handmade purses, or designer baby clothes.
My hero didn't win the pennant. She can't do a 360 dunk, and there's no way she'll score a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Some of New York's most admired figures are the city's public school teachers. Just ask one of the millions of kids who learn from these heroes every day. For more information on the most rewarding job you can imagine, visit teachnyc.net. Join New York's brightest. Teach NYC. A public service announcement brought to you by the New York City Department of Education, the Appleseed Foundation, and the Ad Council.
The Scholar Share Tiger Pack is back for just $40. You can grab 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas to any Pacific baseball game. It's the best value in town. For more information about the Scholar Share Tiger Pack, head online to pacifictigers.com/Tiger Pack. 9-5 is our score here at Klein Family Field. The Portland Pilots have scored in 4 consecutive innings, and the Tigers have had zeros in the last 2 innings. So Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh, thank you all very much for joining us. We'll see the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Portland Pilots, as Bailey Hansen coming in for another inning's worth of work, or for his first true innings worth of work, as that first pitch is in there for strike 1.
Matt Kelly, there's the left fielder with the big arm.
Well, the 0-1 misses for ball 1. Portland Pilots have had successful consecutive innings of scoring. Here's the 1-1, and that is on the inner corner for strike 2. Kelly didn't really seem to like that one too much. He kind of stepped away and goes to 1-2. Pilots have got 1 run in the second, 3 in the third, 1 run in the fourth, and then 4 in the fifth. But they have 9 runs on 8 hits. As that pitch skips away and bounces high off the netting to go to 2-2.
Yeah, they've looked like an offensive juggernaut with some serious assistance from Pacific's D.
Matt Kelly, just a sophomore from West Lynn, Oregon. Here's the 2-2 by the righty, and that is smacked and fouled back to go to stay 2-2. On deck is Wade. Here's the 2-2. Caught him looking, strike 3. The second strikeout for Hansen. It looks like he's settled down here for the Tigers. Now there's 1 away in the top of the 6th. Kevin Wade's up. He's had a double in the third. Later came around to score. He also drove in a run in that third inning. He drove in Brundage after Brundage reached on an error in the third. Here's the first pitch, and that is in there for strike 1.
Well, for Portland, the Pilots here, this is the third most runs they've scored in a game this season so far.
Here's the 0-1. A swing and a miss, strike 2.
So for them, this is an offensive explosion.
They are a team that seems to play station to station. They had a lot of stolen bases.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2, and that is smacked foul down the right field line, and will hook well foul before it even really takes off.
They're not really doing anything small ball wise. They're not bunting anyone over really per se. It's just,
well,
they haven't really had to with
right
the free passes and errors.
The 0-2, that is out of the reach of James Free to go to 1-2. On deck is Hawken. Hawken 1 for 2 tonight. He has reached base twice and scored both times he's reached. Here's the 1-2, and that is fouled back behind us to remain 1-2. Hawken did also have, he scored 2 runs, but he also had an RBI. That was in the third. It was a 4-3 fielder's choice that drove in Kelly. But here's the 1-2 to Wade. That is in the dirt. Go to 2-2. For the Tigers, it'll be Tarantino, Free, and Schultz, the 2-3-4 hitters. Tarantino 2 for 3 tonight. He had a double and a triple. Free had a home run and 2 RBIs and a single. Here's the 2-2. That also skips away.
Wow. I don't know what he's doing up there. In the middle of your lineup, 2, 3, 4, 6 for 8, you would expect to be up by a lot. You would expect to be winning that ball game, not losing by 4, I guess you could say.
Here's the payoff pitch, and that is smacked into center field, or actually in the left field. The left fielder, Barry, racing after it. He'll make the catch. Actually, it was more in the left center field. Tarantino was trying to point it out to him, and I think Boris lost this one in the lights too.
He did not make a break on that ball whatsoever.
And good heads up play by Boris Blake Berry to make a run after it and make the catch. And Cody Hawken will dig in. He's the right-hand batter. First pitch he sees is outside and low, ball 1. Hawken is the man that started that 5th inning that wound up being 4 runs. He had a triple. Here's the 0-1, and that is hit high down the left field line. And that will be just foul.
He hit that into the parking lot. That was a shot.
But Hawken was in the 5th inning. He had a 1-out triple, and that's pretty much where the runs started kind of pouring in. Here's the 1-1, and that is smacked into left field, and that will land for a base hit. And Hawken is racing on his horse. He kind of takes a big turn at first, but he will head back with a 2-out base hit.
Well, Cody Hawken is safe to say he's dialed in right now. He was on that single.
But Cody Hawken 2 for 3 tonight. And that brings up Mike Hicks. Hicks had the base hit that drove in Hawken and put the Pilots in the lead for the first time. He's 1 for 3. He also later scored. Here's the first pitch, and that gets away, and it goes to the backstop. Running on the play was Hawken. He'll stay safe over at second, and a wild pitch moves him up. So Bailey Hansen was able to get the first 2 outs. Wouldn't say easily, but he got Kelly to strike out looking, and then a fly out to left center, and now a base hit, and now with the wild pitch moves Hawken to second with Hicks looking at a 1-0 pitch. And 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And that pitch misses low for ball 2.
See, that's what happens. Start throwing too wild, you're not going to get any of those close calls either.
Here's the 2-0, and that kind of skips away into the dirt, but Free was able to gather that one, and it's now 3-0. Not much activity in really either bullpen right now.
Yeah. Both kind of content who they got up on the mound at the moment.
So with 2 outs, here's the 3-0 to Hicks. And that is also low. So a walk, after a base hit, a walk with 2 outs. And that brings up Copas. Copas on the night is 0 for 2. He did reach base in the second. He was hit by a pitch. Right-handed batter, the catcher digging in, and Matt Tarantino having a little chat with Bailey Hansen.
Number 7, Devin Copas.
Copas batting .215. The senior from Chula Vista, California.
Wow.
Looking on with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. That is low for ball 1. Went to East Lake High School. The 1-0 by the righty, and that is in the dirt as well. Moving it to 2-0.
James Free's getting a workout. Every other pitch seems to be down in the dirt. He's getting his money's worth behind the plate tonight.
So Hansen started things off with a strikeout and a flyout to left, but since then, 2 base runners. Here's the 2-0, a swing and a miss for strike 1. Copas seemed to see something he liked and went after it. Probably might have been ball 3.
Yeah, he kind of think he's getting a little impatient. He wants to see a strike, even if one isn't there.
So with 2 outs, the 2-1 by the righty, and that is chopped foul behind the plate. Go to 2-2. Webb will be due up next, should Copas reach. Nine runs on 8 hits. Here's the 2-2. That's a swing and a miss. It goes off the backstop, but a fortunate bounce. He'll throw on to first, will free, and that'll end the inning. So the Tigers allow 2 to get on after 2 outs. We've reached the bottom of the 6th inning. Tigers trail 9-5 to the Portland Pilots here on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
Ashley, who correctly identified today's movie as The Incredibles. All right, everybody like free stuff, right? Raise your hand if you like free stuff.
Hey, John Mark.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, man, you like basketball? It doesn't matter what you like. The fact of the matter is that you need to get yourself to Jansen Longoria Gym.
Jeff, calm down. That blood vessel is getting a little big right there, but what all you guys got to know is that Tiger Radio is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, April 29th, 12 to 6. Where is it, Jeff?
Jansen Longoria Gym. Plenty of prizes, great fun, great entertainment. The winner takes it all. You know it. Know your role and get yourself down. Right here, you can always sign up on TigerRadio.net.
So, get at it.
Oh, hell yeah!
Wingstop is the official partner of Pacific Athletics. Skip the wait and order online at wingstop.com. We've reached the bottom of the 6th inning here at Klein Family Field. Jeff Domick along with Mark Walsh. Thank you all very much for joining us here tonight. Portland Pilots have scored 9 runs, and those 9 runs came in 4 consecutive innings, the second through 5th, and they lead 9-5. We will see the 2-3-4 hitters for the Tigers. It'll be Matt Tarantino leading off, followed by Free and Schultz. Danny Mayer will be following them should anybody reach. Tarantino tonight is 2 for 3. He has a double and a triple. It's the first pitch he sees is outside and high for ball 1.
These 2 more legs of the cycle this evening.
And he has the potential to do it. He's got good power. He's got 6 home runs. Here's the 1-0. That is low for ball 2.
Well, the triple is the hardest one, they say.
Tarantino batting .308 after this 2 for 3 performance so far. We'll see Jordan Horak, who's gone through an inning and a third, as that pitch misses up high for ball 3.
He's not giving him anything to hit.
Horak through an inning and a third, 2 hits, 1 strikeout. One of those hits being a double through 31 pitches. Here's the 3-0. That is on the inside corner for strike 1. Tarantino not going to pull that bat off the shoulder. They know the Tigers know they need base runners any way, shape, or possible because bottom 6 were just 12 outs away. Here's the 3-1 and called for a strike.
Wow.
Tarantino did not like it as he kind of walked away, kind of put his helmet down, and obviously didn't say anything. He just just the emotion that he shows behind it. Here's the 3-2 by Horak. And that is swung on, and that is deep, but it's down the left field line, and that will hook foul.
Got a hold of that one, but straighten that out.
As we said, he's got power.
Yeah.
He can do it.
Just anybody on base right now would be nice.
Here's once again the 3-2 by Horak. And that is smacked over to the shortstop. Backhanded by Kelly. Throw on to first, and that is out number 1. Kelly didn't have to move too far. He just kind of tucked himself under and got in a different kind of defensive position than what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, that wasn't I guess orthodox, but see, their defense is crisp tonight. I guess you could say Portland's. So even when they're not playing it perfect, they're still making the play.
That brings up James Free. Free coming into the right side this time. He's already got a home run. 2 for 2 tonight. Had a base hit in the 4th. Here's the first pitch from the right side, a swing and a miss for strike. Well, actually, will be a foul as it did not the catcher could not keep a hold of it. But it's still 0-1 nevertheless.
Yeah, he was trying to hit one from both sides of the plate there.
Schultz to follow. Free batting .323. And he got the festivities going with a 2-run shot to center field in the first inning. Here's the 0-1. That just misses outside for ball 1. Not sure where that missed. That was a good pitch by Horak.
Yeah, that home run he hit seems like that was last week sometime. This game has been so long.
Horak in the windup. Here's the 1-1 by the lefty. A curveball that misses.
Wow.
For ball 2.
Maybe we get to see James hit. They got to come into him now, right?
So Jordan Horak looking in once again. Here's that 2-1 by the lefty. That is inside and low. 3-1. Freeze reached base 3 times.
They don't want to give up a hit to him again. He hits the ball hard. Too hard for these guys, I guess, maybe. Look at the left fielders basically playing right at the fence.
There's that 3-1, and it is a looping fly ball over to right field. Under it looks like Rosen. He misses it. That'll be an error, and Free will run into second. As Rosen was drifting to right, tried to go back to his left, and
let's give him a double on that one. Come on now. I'm pulling for the double.
That should be an error. He had a good play on it and backed up and just couldn't keep on it. So it is a fielding error.
Oh yeah.
So put that E9, and it brings up Ryan Schultz. Schultz, he's having a great night tonight too. He's 2 for 3. He has a base hit, or a single and a double. He scored it in the first inning. He had a base hit in the 4th inning as well, or a double in the 4th.
Let's see if that error can be an advantage for Pacific for once this evening.
So Horak in a little bit of a situation. Here's the 1-0, and that's up high. It kind of skips right out into the dirt. It falls out of the catcher's glove. Let's go to 2-0. And in fact, we'll see the head coach, Jeff Loomis, go out and have a little chat.
No, he doesn't have anyone in the pin, does he? No one's up.
Just a little reminder that every Tuesday home game is $2 tacos. Only a few of those left. Actually, really only one.
Yeah.
And that is going to be all game long at Klein Family Field. Grab your friends. Enjoy the $2 tacos on Tuesday with the Pacific Tigers. Enjoy a game. Not much going on with that. Next game, UC Davis.
Right on.
Tuesday, May 9th. Make sure you grab some friends. Come on out. Hang out. Have some tacos. Enjoy some baseball.
And if you forget which day it is, it's Tuesday.
So the meeting is done. Schultz still standing towards the batter's box. So we look in for a 2-0 pitch coming up by Jordan Horak. Runner on second. That's going to be Free. He reached on the error by the right fielder, Rosen. Here's the 2-0. It's swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Trying to get 2 runs back right there. They're seeing the ball well out of his hand.
And Schultz has a couple of home runs as well. He actually has 3. He also has a triple. I believe he actually had his first triple. I want to say it was against Fresno State, quite honestly. Here's the 2-1, and that is going to be a shot down the right field line. That will hook just foul, about 10 feet away from the right field line to go to 2-2. On deck is Danny Mayer. Looking to get into the hit column. He's 0 for 2. But we're looking at the 2-2 pitch by Jordan Horak for the Portland Pilots. The lefty looks in. He checks the runner at second. Now they'll pitch to the plate. That is inside. I think a lot of people were kind of jumping up and down because Schultz twisted into it.
I want to see how that didn't hit him.
So now, here's the payoff pitch by the lefty. That is fouled back. To stay 3-2. Still one out. Runner on second. That is free. Portland Pilots leading 9-5. 9 runs on 8 hits for the Pilots. Here's the 3-2. That is fouled back once again.
Wow. Got that spot down.
Schultz still digging in here. Another foul ball, and a 3-2 pitch with one out. Once again, Horak delivers. And swing and a miss for strike 3. So, brings up Danny Mayer.
Right fielder, number 34, Danny Mayer.
And of course, Danny Mayer can cut into this deficit easily by one swing. Man with 8 home runs on the season. Batting .211. Digs in from the right side. The first pitch he sees is a swing, and watch out, Coach Rubenkamp. He went head over tea kettle and is now on his backside.
That was a good job of dodging the ball there. That's a play of the day right there, just for getting out of the way of that thing. And that's why they wear helmets, ladies and gentlemen.
Coach Rubenkamp gathers his thoughts. Gets back onto the gets on the 2 feet. Here's the 0-1 to Danny Mayer. And that is outside, ball 1. Jordan Horak moved his
music. It's a great way to help prepare them for life.
A PSA brought to you by MENC, the National Association for Music Education, and the National Anthem Project, the campaign to restore America's voice through music education. Music, part of a sound education.
Lincoln Center is Stockton's premier shopping and dining destination. Enjoy boutique shopping, our award-winning restaurants, and family-friendly atmosphere. Conveniently located at Pacific Avenue in Benjamin Holt, less than 15 minutes from the University of the Pacific. Visit LincolnCenterShops.com for a list of stores that offer a discount to all UOP students. Lincoln Center, always in style. Top of the 7th inning here at Klein Family Field. The Portland Pilots leading the Pacific Tigers 9-5. We will see the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. It'll be Webb leading things off. He replaced Hoogerwerf as the first pitch is on the outside corner for strike 1. The 0-1 quickly is just low for ball 1. Webb batting .088 in 34 at-bats. He's only had 3 hits. He has scored 6 runs. Here's the 1-1, and that is a looping fly ball over to right field. Danny Mayer has a play on it. He'll make the catch for out number 1.
Well, the 6th inning was the first inning with no runs across. That's an anomaly this game thus far.
Brings up Michael Forgione. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He's reached base each time as the first pitch misses outside, ball 1. For Forgione, he had a base hit in the 4th and later scored, and the same thing happened in the 5th. He had a walk and later scored as that pitch misses also outside, ball 2. Forgione batting 151, came in batting 137, so he's starting to increase the batting average just ever so slightly as that pitch misses also to go 3-0. Henson has walked 3 and struck out 3. Here's the 3-0, and that is in there for strike 1. Forgione, the senior, as he looks in at a 3-1 pitch and misses for ball 4. So a 1-out walk by Bailey Hansen. There's still only one away.
Right fielder, number 1, Jason Rosen.
Brings up Jason Rosen. Rosen has had a tough night defensively and at the plate. He's 0 for 3. He did walk in the 5th, but has struck out twice.
He's had a tough time in right field, too, defensively. Gosh.
Here's the first pitch, and that swung and fouled back to go to 0-1. Rosen had that error in the moved James Freed to second, but the Tigers weren't able to capitalize. The error did not become the
rally starter we'd hoped for.
The 0-1 misses outside for ball 1. On deck is Brundage. He's 2 for 4. Should there be no double play involved. Lefty digs back in. Hansen deals the 1-1. He swing and fouled back. Go to 1-2. Forgione on first. He drew the 1-out walk. Righty deals, and that is fouled back once again, even though that Carter Hayes will give it a little bit of a run at third, but it'll go well foul. Check back the runner at first. Back in time was Forgione. Forgione does have 7 steals. He actually had one tonight. Excuse me, that was Rosen that had the stolen base. That was in the 5th inning. Forgione does not, as that pitch misses for go to 2-2. No, Forgione does have a stolen base. That was in the 4th. I had to look it up. Thought he did.
So go with your gut. There you go.
2-2 has popped one over into foul territory. Giving a ride was Carter Hayes, but it will go into the grassy area past the foul lining of the dirt. The guardrail over there in left field. Count remains 2-2 with 1 out. Tarantino just getting back into the shortstop position. Hansen deals the 2-2 once again. That is outside ball 3. Hansen is getting close to 60 pitches. I believe I have him at 59 right now. So this would be the 60th pitch.
That's tough after 1 2/3. That's a lot of work.
There's the 3-2, and that is up high, and that's a walk.
Center fielder number 2, Bo Brundage.
That brings up Bo Brundage. Brundage has had a successful night. He's 2 for 4. He had a base hit in the 1st and 4th inning, drove in a run in the 4th, and then also scored a run. That was in the 3rd after he reached on an error by the third baseman.
We're getting some action out in the Tigers bullpen.
Ryan Kim, the outfielder from Boise, Idaho, is the pinch runner. I'm trying to check to see who he's running for. I believe he's running for Rosen. He is. The first pitch to Brundage misses low for ball 1. There's the 1-0, and that's fouled back to go to 1-1.
That's the most foul balls I've ever seen in a ball game.
Well, there's a lot of lucky fans in tonight.
Right? We're going home with multiples.
Hansen looking in. He's walked 5 opposing batters. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. They may have said that was foul. It looked like it came out of the catcher's mitt. It goes to 1-2 nevertheless. With 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Hansen taking his time. Here's the 1-2. That is popped down the left field line. That will hook foul once again.
It's that same kid. Yeah, it's his field day.
Yeah. Count remains 1-2 by Bailey Hansen. He's looking in. Checks runner back at second. Here's that 1-2. That misses inside, and Brundage had to kind of sneak back as he had to kind of shift his feet backwards a little bit. Moves it to 2-2. One out still here in the top 7. Here's the 2-2. That's fouled back. Just a reminder, tomorrow's game's at 6 o'clock. Here on the West Coast. It's fireworks night here at Klein Family Field.
Be a packed house tomorrow.
I hope so. It's always a beautiful game on a night game Saturday night. Here's the 2-2. There's a shot into right field. That will score 1. Danny Mayer will get it back into the field of play, and it is now 10-5 in favor of the Portland Pilots. Moving over to second was Kim.
Those free passes are coming to hurt. Another visit from Coach New, and I think we're getting a right-hander.
Maybe getting a right-hander. They did signal the bullpen, so we'll go ahead and step aside as the Portland Pilots get 1 here in the 7th. It is now 10-5. We'll be right back on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
Some people still don't believe that secondhand smoke is dangerous. This is Scott Bakula. Did you know that just being around someone who smokes can cause severe lung problems, heart disease, and cancer? But there is something you can do about it. Call for a free booklet from the Will Rogers Institute. It clearly explains the proven risks of secondhand smoke and the ways you can avoid exposure. Toll free 1-877-957-7575. Because secondhand smoke is dangerous. Believe it.
Hey, John Mark.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, man, you like basketball? It doesn't matter what you like. The fact of the matter is that you need to get yourself to Jansen Longoria Gym.
Jeff, calm down. That blood dose is getting a little big right there, but what all you guys got to know is that Tiger Radio is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, April 29th, 12 to 6. Where is it, Jeff?
Jansen Longoria Gym. Plenty of prizes, great fun, great entertainment. The winner takes it all. You know it. Know your role and get yourself down. Right here, you can always sign up on TigerRadio.net.
So, get at it.
Oh, hell yeah!
Hi there, this is Sammy Hagar here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. Now, style's a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody else's business. Please plan ahead. Designate before you celebrate. Because friends do not let friends drive drunk.
A public service message brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
What does freedom of speech mean to me?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
Freedom of speech means I can speak out against the majority.
It means I can express my opinion freely.
It's the American dream.
It's the First Amendment. It means everyone has a voice.
I guess freedom of speech is more than a right. It's a responsibility.
A message from the National Association of Broadcasters, Education Foundation, and this station.
New pitcher for the Tigers as they trail 10-5 here in the top of the 7th with 1 out. Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh. Thank you all very much for joining us here tonight. It'll be Miles Haddad who comes into this game trying to minimize and trying to get the Tigers back up to the plate. Haddad with a 6.31 ERA, 0-1 on the season, has given up 43 hits, 18 earned runs, and has struck out 11 opposing batters. As he will dig in to take on Matt Kelly, the shortstop, batting .301. 1 for 3 tonight. 1 for 4, excuse me. Struck out in the 6th, but he did have his base hit in the 3rd. A very productive 3rd inning as they scored 3 runs, did the Pilots. The first pitch misses outside for ball 1. On deck would be Wade, should this inning get extended, regardless of unless it was a double play. The 1-0 by Haddad is a chopper down to the third baseman. He'll flip it on to first, and that will be out number 2. Carter Hayes gave a heads-up play there by not trying to force the situation to send it over to second, or just threw on the out that he knew he could get, which was the first baseman.
That is the smart play there. It's good to see.
So that'll bring in Kevin Wade. Wade, the first baseman, batting .264. He had a double that drove in a run in the 3rd. That was in the left center. As the first pitch he sees is just misses inside for ball 1. The senior from Mission Viejo, California, facing the senior righty, Miles Haddad. From Burbank, California, as he gets one snared by the first baseman, or by Haddad. He'll flip it on, and that'll be out number 3. So the Tigers allow a couple runs to get in, allow 1 run to get in. We head on into the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here at Klein Family Field. The Tigers trail 10-5 here on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
Hey, John Mark.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, man, you like basketball? It doesn't matter what you like. The fact of the matter is that you need to get yourself to Jansen Longoria Gym.
Jeff, calm down. That blood dose is getting a little big right there, but what all you guys got to know is that Tiger Radio is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, April 29th, 12 to 6. Where is it, Jeff?
Jansen Longoria Gym. Plenty of prizes, great fun, great entertainment. The winner takes it all. You know it. Know your role and get yourself down right here. You can always sign up on TigerRadio.net.
So, get at it.
Oh, hell yeah!
Thank you all very much for joining us here tonight. We'll see the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. It'll be Halstead, Barry, and Hayes, followed by Sondri should anybody reach. There has been a defensive change. We'll get you that in a second as Jordan Horak deals the first pitch. The lefty throws one in there for a strike. Halstead is 0 for 3, and the 0-1 misses up high for ball 1.
Took a lot off that curveball. Float that over.
A 1-1 Swing, and that's fouled back to go to 1-2.
Yet another foul ball.
You know, tomorrow's fireworks night, and for all these foul balls, Mark, I think you should at least come out and hang out for the fireworks show and catch a few foul balls for us.
There'll be more competition here tomorrow night, though. You know,
That's okay.
I'm not that quick anymore. Not that I ever really was.
Here's the 1-2. That misses up high. Ball 2.
Plus, I think it's bad form to be like racing with kids for foul balls.
Well, if it lands near you or around you, I mean, you hang on to it. Yeah, exactly.
Mine, kids.
2-2. That is looped into right center field. Making a leaping catch is Kim, and that's out number 1.
Wow, he caught it, but he made that interesting.
Misjudging, and you know, it's very rare I get a chance to see this, but I mean, I don't really think that it's been that much of a difficult time tonight, but for whatever reason, I mean, of course, I'm sitting up here in a booth, so it's easy for me to say.
That ball's just carrying out to right today.
The winds are flapping around pretty good down to right field. It brings up Blake Berry. Berry has had a very good night as the first pitch he swings and fouls back. He's 3 for 3 tonight. He's had a single in the first, drove in a run. In the third, he had a double and later scored, and then he had a single in the fifth and got as far as third, but was unsuccessful in scoring. Tigers trailing 10-5. Here's the 0-1, and that is right about the belt high for strike 2. Carter Hayes on deck, the third baseman. He had a base hit, and actually was the one that drove in Berry in the third. Here's the 0-2. And going around, did he go around? He might as well run, because he did go. The throw on to first. Did he get him? Safe! So it is a strikeout, but it reaches on the
pass ball.
Pass ball, yeah, I believe that would be a pass ball, but
now if he would have just been running from the get-go, it wouldn't have been a close play, but he's waiting for the call.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey,
they called it a wild pitch, by the way.
A wild pitch, huh? Wow. That's a coin toss there.
It's the same way it happened earlier too. I think it would have gone either way. Brings up Carter Hayes. Hayes 1 for 3, batting 143 in the spot starts. He's had 2 base hits in his 14 at bats this season. As that first pitch, he's swinging it up high into towards the first baseman, making a play on it. Had to make a few steps to his right was Wade, and that's out number 2.
That's a tough play on any of those pop-ups.
That brings up Kevin Sondry. Sondry 2 for 3 tonight.
The Tigers second baseman, number 8, Kevin Sondry.
Sondry had a base hit in the third and a double in the fifth. That double in the fifth was one that was into right field. It looked like it came on a little hard as that is hit into the third baseman. Webb bobbles it. He'll throw on to first. And that is out number 3. So the Tigers do get one run, or do get a runner on, but we're unable to capitalize. And we head to the 8th inning. Tigers trail 10-5 to the Portland Pilots on the Tiger Digital Network and on the W.TV.
Catered by Michael's Pizza, or enjoy one of our special Duraflame hotspot packages.
That's the Big Dipper over there.
Yellow and blue make green.
Well, a cow pie really isn't a pie.
Come on, Riff! Open your eyes!
Remember, you're always teaching. Teach carefully. React with rage, and kids will learn it's okay to do the same. Keep your cool, and kids will do likewise. For advice, visit actagainstviolence.org. Brought to you by MetLife Foundation, National Association for the Education of Young Children, and the Ad Council.
Hello, son. I'm Dean Rubin from college. Here to invite you to join us this fall.
Me?
You've always wanted to go to college, correct?
Yeah.
Well, here's that invitation you've been waiting for.
Joey, out of bed!
Wake up. You can't dream your way into college. There are actual steps you need to take. For all the steps, visit knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation for Education, and the Ad Council.
On to the 8th inning here at Klein Family Field. That's on the phone. Thank you all very much for joining us. The Tigers trailing 10-5. The Portland Pilots, West Coast Conference. Pilots in for a 3-game set. They'll play tomorrow at 6 and Sunday at noon. It's the first pitch by Miles Haddad, who was able to get the last out of the 7th inning, thanks to a great play by Haddad, was able to snare one as Wade was up. Hawken, first pitch swinging over to Sondre. It's going to be a tough play. He'll flip it on to first. Got him!
Wow, just in time.
Sondre was on a dead sprint and was able to get Hawken, the speedy Hawken, I should say.
Yeah, that boy can move there. Jiminy Crickets, who's down that line.
Mike Hicks.
It brings up Mike Hicks. Mike Hicks, the left-handed batter, is 1 for 3 tonight. Had an RBI in the 3rd and also had an RBI in the 5th off of a base hit and later wound up scoring in the 5th. That 4-run 5th inning, that just really has been the big difference as that first pitch misses outside and low, ball 1. Mike Hicks, a designated hitter, batting 208. Has 2 home runs as that pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Only difference between those 2 pitches, that was a ball 1 and strike 1, was that it was, I would say maybe just a little higher, but that was about it.
Yeah, rather similar.
Here's the 1-1, and that is fouled back and into left field. Go to 1-2. Following Hicks will be Kopus. Kopus has had a tough night tonight. 0 for 3. So 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Here's the 1-2.
Wow.
Had to kind of pull things back. That one looked off of Haddad's hands. Kind of interesting. It looked like it looked like he lost control of it a little bit, and it actually looked like a breaking pitch that kind of broke back a little bit away from the lefty.
Yeah, kind of a little frisbee pitch there. It was weird.
So here's the 2-2, and that is a shot down the left field line. That will hook just foul, as that was going to be trouble down right next to the 317 mark, as it could have been a stand-up double, but...
Got another souvenir. I think people are so sick of all the foul balls, they're not even running anymore.
They know they'll be there when they get there.
Right? Everybody gets one tonight.
So the senior righty looking in. Here's the 2-2, and that is outside and high, ball 3. Haddad actually kind of was frustrated with that one. He kind of slapped his glove a couple times. Kind of punched inside his glove right around the pocket.
Yeah, that one just barely got away from him there.
So the senior righty looking in to the sophomore left-handed batter. Here's the 3-2, and that is fouled back. And it'll stay 3-2. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. 10 runs on 9 hits. 1 error for the Portland Pilots, while the Tigers have 5 runs, 13 hits, and 4 errors. With 10 left on, the Pilots had 9. Here's the 3-2. And that was just low for ball 4. So a 1-out walk. It brings up Kopus. Devin Kopus, 0 for 3. Struck out in the 6th. Did reach in the 2nd as he was hit by a pitch. The right-handed senior. So senior versus senior, 2 righties, as that pitch is knocked off his hands, and it will be a 3 unassisted as Schultz will step on the bag. Runner moves up to 2nd. Hicks is now at 2nd, but there are 2 away.
And they had the hit and run on there, and it worked out for him. Got a man in scoring position, but 2 outs.
Third baseman number 40, Cal Webb.
And it brings up Cal Webb. Webb batting .086, had a fly out to right, making a little bit of a spot appearance as he replaced Hoogerwerf in the 5th. He pinch ran for him. As that first pitch is in there for strike 1. He pinch ran for Hoogerwerf, who reached on an error by the center fielder. He reached as far as second, and then he was substituted for by Webb, who later came around to score. So here's the 0-1 by the righty as Webb actually squared around the bunt.
Yeah, trying to drag for a base hit. Second time they've had that play on this evening.
Here's the 0-2. That is fouled down the right field line and will stay foul. Stay 0-2. So 2 outs, runner on second. That's Hicks. He reached on a 1-out walk. Got moved up after the 3 unassisted by the first baseman, Schultz. Kopus hit one down the right field, or down the first base area. It was slowly hit, so only play was at first. And now with an 0-2 pitch to Webb by Haddad. The righty deals, and that is fouled back once again. Look out over there, because that one was going towards the fire pit over there.
Had some steam on it.
Here from the Portland Pilots dugout, rooting on Cal, telling him to keep digging. Now we're hearing a little bit of the Tigers. I heard go Miles, or come on Miles, I believe is what I heard. So here's the 0-2. And that is fouled back once again.
He's fighting. Now it makes me wonder, Cal Webb, if his name was Cal Ripken, clearly, if he was kind of by design became a third baseman just because of his name. Or can't be a coincidence.
No. I wouldn't go there.
No. Look, Cal played shortstop until late in his career, but...
So Haddad looking in once again. Here's the count has stayed the same. Here's the 0-2. Curveball. Got him! So the 1-out walk gets as far as second, but that's as far as the Pilots were able to go. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers trail 10-5 here on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I'm from Omaha.
Eric Easy E. Wright, Irvin Magic Johnson. These are just 2 of the many people who could not escape the horrible disease known as HIV. AIDS.gov calculated that 1.2 million people in the U.S. are living with HIV, and 1 in every 8 of them don't even know that they are HIV positive. It is time for everyone to go to their local doctor and get tested. Let's do what we can to make sure we continue the fight against HIV, so that we are no longer hearing sounds like this.
I don't want to die yet!
But instead hearing sounds like this.
I love you, Daddy!
Listen to this message. Please don't ignore. Go get tested, and the life you will save is yours.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Tigers running out of outs here at Klein Family Field. Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh bring up the leading off for the Tigers will be the leadoff batter, Jimmy Boris, as the first pitch he sees is up high for ball 1. It'll be Boris, Tarantino, and Free, the 1-2-3 batters. As that 1-0 pitch is a high fly ball over towards the second baseman. He's under it and makes the catch. It's Forgione making the catch.
The shortstop, number 10, Matt Tarantino.
And brings up Matt Tarantino. Tarantino's had started off hot. He had a double in the first, double in the first and a triple in the second. Here's the first pitch he sees is down the right field line. And Kim having a little bit of an issue. He'll reach up as he traveled to his left and then had to make a little bit of a good-sized run to his right, making the catch for out number 2.
It's the right field is the field of adventure this evening.
It brings up James Free. Free 2 for 3 tonight. Had a home run in the first and walked in the second and a base hit in the fourth. But with 2 outs, nobody on, the first pitch is right fouled back into the netting to go to 0-1.
Almost had us a souvenir.
Would have been fitting, right?
Yes. I want to go home with a foul ball tonight. Which all you got to do is stand.
I was going to say, go ask that the kid over in the left field. She probably has like 6 of them for you.
I don't think she's giving any up this evening. She's holding on to him tight.
Here's the 0-1, and that is a shot into center field. That is drilled well back, looking up, and it's gone. James Free with his second home run tonight, his 10th of the season. The freshman now has 10 home runs, and it is now 10-6 in favor of Portland.
One from each side of the plate for Mr. Free tonight. Wow. That is something else. That was to the farthest. That was right over the 405. Jeez, that was a shot.
You can't hit him any farther.
Yeah.
That brings up Brian Schultz.
James Free. Remember that name, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, well, he's raised some eyebrows, and not just from this side, but from a lot of different angles. Here's the first pitch to Schultz, is up high for ball 1. James Free, 10 home runs on the season.
Get his autograph while I'm still here on campus. Put it away for a couple of years.
The 1-0 is outside, ball 2. So lefty has slowed things down for Horak has. There's a shot to third baseman Webb. He'll throw on to first. Wade had to make a little bit of a stretch, but he makes the out. So the Tigers get 1 off the home run by James Free, but they trail 10-6 to the Portland Pilots. We'll head to the top of the 9th here on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
San Francisco SPCA, a non-profit animals shelter which is to save and protect animals, provide care and treatment. In 2015, the leave release rate for the entire city of San Francisco reached 93%. We imagine a community where every animal has a loving home, where animals don't need the support of San Francisco's rescues and shelters. The SFSPCA is an independent, local non-profit that receives no government funding and is not part of any national organization. We rely on your support. Come to join us. We can't do this without you. You can go to www.sfspca.org to donate or contact us 415-554-3000.
Top 9 here at Klein Family Field. Jeff Dominic along with Mark Walsh. Thank you all very much for joining us here as we get us ready for this the final 6 outs. Tigers trailing 10-6 to the Portland Pilots. And it'll be Forgione, Kim, and Brundage. First pitch to Forgione is in there for strike 1. Forgione has reached base in every at-bat for himself tonight. He's 1 for 2, but has drawn 2 walks out in the 5th and the 7th. As that one is fouled away, and it'll go to 0-2. Just getting away here in the 9th inning. Michael Forgione batting 151. Here's the 0-2. Check swing, but did not go around outside for ball 1.
So wiffle balls up there. That broke a lot.
Another senior on senior matchup. 2 righties. The righty Haddad and the righty Forgione. As there's a shot into second towards the second baseman, out of the reach of Sondri. It'll go into center field, and that's a base hit for Forgione. So Forgione has been on base every at bat tonight.
Wow.
Brings up Ryan Kim. He came in to pinch run in the 7th for Rosen. Moved over to right field in the top, or actually it was in the bottom 7th. So he'll get in that bat here in the 9th. Batting 183. He's got 11 hits in 60 at-bats. He's driven in 1. Check the runner back at first. Forgione's back in time. No home runs. 1 double. Has also a stolen base. Has also scored 7 runs this season. Has Kim. First pitch he sees is a squaring around a bunt. Throw to second, and he got him.
Ooh.
Nice job by James Free to get the runner at second, who was running upon first contact.
Yeah, that's a good throw.
Forgione's down. It's 1 away here in the top of the 9th.
Center fielder.
Risky play, but it paid off with the out. Got the lead runner.
So that's a 2-4 put out. Oh, actually 2-6. Excuse me.
Not a lot of times you see the 2-6 fielder's choice.
Squaring around a bunt was Brundage. He's 3 for 5 tonight. He's reached in 4 of his 5 appearances, though. Brundage batting 284. Here's the 1-0, and that's slap foul, and it'll go to 1-1. Ten runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Portland Pilots, while the Tigers 6 runs, 14 hits, and 4 errors. Here's the 1-1, and that just misses outside, ball 2. For the Tigers, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters. They'll be the last line of defense if they can, as they are only 3 outs away from dropping game 1. Here's the 2-1, and that is a chopper over to the second baseman, Sondri. The only play is at first. He'll make that play as he flips it over to the first baseman, Schultz, and there's 2 away.
Shortstop number 20, Matt Kelly.
That brings up Matt Kelly. Kelly's 1 for 5 tonight. He had that base hit in the 3rd, later came around to score. And what was, at that point, one of the game-tying runs. Actually, it was the run that brought it within 1 run, I should say. It was, at that point, 4-3. Here's the first pitch, and there's a shot into center field. Racing after it is Boris. Has to run back. He'll reach up, make the catch, and that is out number 3. So the Pilots were able to get 1 on. That was off the single by Forgione, but after a fielder's choice 2-6, and then a couple more outs after that, there was nothing doing for the Pilots. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Tigers here on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
Hey, John Mark.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, man, you like basketball?
I love
It doesn't matter what you like. The fact of the matter is that you need to get yourself to Jansen Longoria Gym.
Yeah, calm down. That blood vessel is getting a little big right there, but what all you guys got to know is that Tiger Radio is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, April 29th, 12 to 6. Where is it, Jeff?
Jansen Longoria Gym. Plenty of prizes, great fun, great entertainment. The winner takes it all. You know it. Know your role and get yourself down. Right here, you can always sign up on TigerRadio.net.
So, get at it.
Oh, hell yeah!
Last chance for the Tigers here in the bottom of the ninth inning. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters. It'll be Mayer, Halstead, and Berry. Hayes would be next, following anybody that could reach.
Number 34, Danny Mayer.
Danny Mayer stepping in. 0 for 3 tonight. He had a walk in the first inning, but has had just a struggle of a season so far this year, or primarily this year, batting .209. First pitch by Horak is a swing and a miss for strike one. Here to the senior right fielder. The 0-1. Outside and high for ball one. On deck, Lucas Halstead. He's also had a little bit of a struggle. He's 0 for 4 tonight. The 1-1. That's up high. Ball two. Mayer just now digging in on the right side. Here's the 2-1 by the lefty. That's up high. Right around the coconut area, so be careful. Goes to 3-1.
Getting away from him a little bit.
Well, Jordan Horak has come in relief and has pitched pretty much ever since the third inning. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss, strike two.
Yeah, he was pretty much what Portland needed at that very moment in the game. Giving up 1 run since.
Horak has so far pitched 4 1/3 innings. 3 hits, 1 run. That run will be earned. But through at this point, 71 pitches. Here's the 3-2. And there's a shot down the left field line. That'll hook just foul.
That's one thing with Danny Mayer is he gets a hold of it and gives it a ride. That's a lot of strength in his hands.
Horak will give up some home runs. He's given up 3 this year. 1-7, but has a 4.82 ERA. Here's the 3-2. And there's a shot down the left field.
Gave up another one.
And going high. That one's deep. The mayor of Klein Family Field has just knocked in another run. A home run by Danny Mayer.
That was a no-doubter. Wow.
It is now 10-7, but the Pilots still leading. They'll bring up Lucas Halstead.
The Tiger designated hitter.
Yeah, the left fielder took about 1 step back and just kind of figured, we'll get the next guy.
Not worth my time.
Right.
That has to be a little bit of a gut-wrenching feeling that if you're a pitcher, you look at the left fielder and he takes 1 step and says, not going to happen. First pitch to Lucas Halstead is a swing and a miss. Gets Lucas Halstead down to 1 knee for strike 1.
Given up my fair share of home runs in my day, and it is a bad feeling when you just look.
You would think those 3-year-olds don't even see it coming, but all of a sudden, here's the 0-1. There's a shot right up the middle, and Horak almost lost his hand in doing so. Well, there's a base hit.
Tigers got a little something going now. Let's see if they can keep it going. This little rally
brings up Blake Berry. Want to remind you to go ahead and stick around for the post-game show, as Blake Berry will be joining us here in a little bit. We'll talk about tonight's game and the rest of the upcoming series. Looks like that there'll be a little conversation. I'm going to look at the umpires, and no signal to the bullpen yet. So a little meeting on the mound, and hey, you know what? Like I said, now they do it. As I was just going to say, let's go ahead and do a little advertisement while you had a chance. There's going to be a change. So we'll go ahead and step aside. When we come back, we'll give you the pitching change and many more to come here as the Tigers trail 10-7 here on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
Some look up to the Man of Steel and others follow lines in the web. But I look up to my real-life icon, my dad, and calling him anything less than great will be misguided. In his warm arms, I confided all of my fears. And as my time to rear others grows near, I'm reminded that women marry men just like their fathers. And I hope that's true. Anything less, might as well not even bother.
A message from the National Fatherhood Initiative, the Ad Council, and this radio station. Visit fatherhood.org for more information. Have you been a dad today?
Hey, John Mark.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, man, you like basketball? It doesn't matter what you like. The fact of the matter is that you need to get yourself to Jansen Longoria Gym.
Jeff, calm down. That blood vessels get a little big right there, but what all you guys got to know is that Tiger Radio is putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, April 29th, 12 to 6. Where is it, Jeff?
Jansen Longoria Gym. Plenty of prizes, great fun, great entertainment. The winner takes it all. You know it. Know your role and get yourself down. Right here, you can always sign up on TigerRadio.net.
So, get at it.
Oh, hell yeah!
She's 16 years old, but she looks like she's 25, wearing a tight dress she'll rip off in a shady motel room. She thought this was the life she wanted. She got the money, the clothes, the attention from her pimp, but she also can't imagine living without prostitution. She doesn't think she's a victim. She thinks she's in control. But she can't leave. When she's no longer the sexy little girl they want, she may only see one way out. This girl lived here in Stockton. She's one of thousands of girls in the city who has been sex trafficked but doesn't see herself as a victim. Call the local Stockton Human Trafficking Hotline to report any tips at 209-948-1911. If you see anything, say something. You will be saving a life. And if you are this girl, there is hope. Call 209-948-1911. You are worth so much more.
The pitcher for the Portland Pilots, will give you that here in just a second as Blake Berry will step in with no outs here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Tigers trying to make a little bit of a game of it as after Danny Mayer's home run, Lucas Halstead had a shot right up the middle that almost took Horrock's hand off. First pitch is right above the knees for strike one to Blake Berry.
Well, Blake Berry is swinging a hot bat tonight, so he's maybe the guy you want up right now besides James Free.
New pitcher for the Portland Pilots is Marty Luckenbach. 3.47 ERA, 1-1 on the season, has 4 saves. Here's the 0-1, and that is low and outside, ball one. He's given up 9 earned runs on the season while striking out 18. He's your prototypical closer for the Pilots. The right-handed senior from Woodinville, Washington. No outs. Here's the 1-1. And there's a pop fly over towards the second baseman, Forgione. He'll reach up, make the grab, and that's out number 1.
Well, 26 hits tonight. If this is any precursor for the rest of the weekend, then it's going to be some fun baseball to watch.
For the Tigers.
I think the Tigers still got a few more hits left in them tonight, though. So,
pinch hitter for the Tigers is going to be Preston Mobius. He'll be replacing Carter Hayes here in the 9th inning, trying to get base runners on. On deck is Kevin Sondry. First pitch to Mobius is inside, about belt high for strike one.
Lukenbach's throwing a lot of curveballs coming out. I guess that's his pitch there.
Luckenbach looking in. The righty with the 0-1. And there's a pop fly down the right field line. Wade giving it a ride. He will make the catch, and there is 2 away.
That's a nice catch. That's a hard play to make going away from you.
So Sandri is now the last opportunity here for the Tigers before they can drop game 1 of this 3-game set.
Let's get that tying runner to the plate, or winning runner.
So with 2 outs, Halstead at first. The first pitch is in the dirt. Halstead not moving. It'll go 1-0.
I guess that would be the tying run. Can't even keep track of what score it is right now.
No, like you said, you got 26 hits and 17 runs. That's
hard to keep track. I didn't bring my abacus.
2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Here's the 1-0 by Luckenbach. That is low. Ball 2. On deck is Jimmy Boris, and Matt Tarantino could follow, depending on how deep this 2-out rally possibly can go, if it goes. Two outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Here's the 2-0 to Sandri. A curveball that's high, did not break for 3-0.
Well, Pacific is batting .467, 7 for 15 tonight with 2 outs. So that's a scrappy little squad down there. Now's the time we need some of them 2-out hits.
Here's the 3-0, and that's low. And that's a 4-pitch walk.
Yeah. And we got our tying runner up at the plate, partner. We might be here a little while longer tonight.
And not just like the way it's going, like the way it's backer center fielder, number 7, Jimmy Boris.
That brings up Jimmy Boris. He's 1 for 5 tonight. Flew out to the second baseman in the 8th inning. The winds have, for the most part, died completely down. A little bit of a wind towards right field. First pitch, they call it balk.
Wow. He did kind of hold up a little bit there. Like he got hung up a little bit on his front cleat, I think, and couldn't really follow through the way he was before.
So the runners move up 90 feet. Sandri now at second. Halstead at third. And here's the first pitch. And it's a swing. It's a drive down the right field. Running after it is Kim. He will reach up, make the catch. And that was a little bit of a drive by Jimmy Boris, but all for naught as the Tigers drop game 1 of the series 10-7. Portland gets the win, and they now advance 9-32-1 on the season, while the Tigers are moved to 13-26. We'll go ahead and step aside. When we come back, we'll have the post-game wrap-up. Stay with us here on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.
11 runners on base. The Tigers.
That's a tough loss.
Hello, son. I'm Dean Rubin from college. Here to invite you to join us this fall.
Me?
You've always wanted to go to college, correct?
Yeah.
Well, here's that invitation you've been waiting for.
Joey, out of bed.
Wake up. You can't dream your way into college. There are actual steps you need to take. For all the steps, visit knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation for Education, and the Ad Council.
In 1805, Lewis and Clark described in their journals a country teeming with wildlife.
Bison as far as the eye can see. Rivers churning with fish.
They wrote of scenes of endless beauty and of meeting more than 100 nations of American Indian whose lives were one with our environment. Now, imagine what Lewis and Clark and the American Indians they met would say if they walked the trail today. Would they be pleased?
There are herds of homes where the buffalo once roamed.
Or would they feel differently?
Something must be done to save what's left of this great place.
As we commemorate the Lewis and Clark Bicentennial, we encourage you to consider what's been lost and what we can do to preserve what's left of the trail that still winds through us all. Walk with Lewis and Clark and see what you discover at www.lewisandclark200.org.
This is a public service message of the National Council of the Lewis and Clark Bicentennial, the Missouri Historical Society, and the Ad Council.
What does freedom of speech mean to me?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
Freedom of speech means I can speak out against the majority.
It means I can express my opinion freely.
It's the American dream.
It's the First Amendment.
It means everyone has a voice. I guess freedom of speech is more than a right. It's a responsibility.
A message from the National Association of Broadcasters, Education Foundation, and this station.
My hero doesn't wear a cape or have superpowers. She doesn't slay dragons or kill wizards. No one wants my hero's autograph. She never goes to Hollywood parties, and she definitely doesn't have a star on the Walk of Fame.
My hero doesn't try to sell me soda, candy bars, cereal, or cheeseburgers.
You won't hear my hero song on the radio. He doesn't have a crew, bling bling, or a mansion.
You can't buy my hero's makeup line, handmade purses, or designer baby clothes.
My hero didn't win the pennant. She can't do a 360 dunk, and there's no way she'll score a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Some of New York's most admired figures are the city's public school teachers. Just ask one of the millions of kids who learn from these heroes every day. For more information on the most rewarding job you can imagine, visit teachnyc.net. Join New York's brightest. Teach NYC. A public service announcement brought to you by the New York City Department of Education, the Appleseed Foundation, and the Ad Council.
How can we help prepare our kids for the future? Hi, this is Roger McGuinn. These days, our children face challenges unimaginable to us only a generation ago. We adults need to help our kids find something in school that really sparks their interest and keeps them involved. If that something happens to be music, the child will benefit in so many ways. Playing music in school is a great way to make friends. Studies are showing that kids involved in music are less likely to get into trouble, and kids who studied music find science and math easier to grasp. They tend to score higher on SATs. It has something to do with something called spatial IQ. So get your kids involved with school music. It's a great way to help prepare them for life.
A PSA brought to you by NENC, the National Association for Music Education, and the National Anthem Project, the campaign to restore America's voice through music education. Music, part of a sound education.
So it's a final here at Klein Family Field. Jeff Dominic, Mark Walsh is back up in the booth. And Mark, are you with me?
I'm with you, I think. Yeah.
Been a little bit of fireworks tonight, and of course tomorrow's the firework night. So what are we missing here? Obviously, then other some colors in the sky, obviously, right?
Yeah. What do we have a final count for the hits? 26
hits.
26 hits.
17 runs.
Wow.
Tigers, unfortunately, were on the losing end of that. But a great performance by both teams. If you like runs, I think sometimes the 5-3 games can be just as entertaining as a 10-7 game.
Oh yeah.
There was a little bit of a stretch where we thought that the Tigers were going to give a ninth inning rally with 2 outs.
Yeah.
And unfortunately was just cut just a little short. I thought Jimmy Boris was going to hit his first home run of the season.
Well, had the wind been blowing out
like it was this morning or earlier this
that would have been 50 feet over the wall. We would have a tied game right now. Or hopefully the Tigers would have won it with the next at bat, but yeah, I thought he went out there. I was like, "Oh my gosh." But yeah, it just fell short. That's how it goes. That's how it went tonight anyway, so
we'll have Blake Berry joining us here in a little bit, but it was a tough night, and but there are 2 games left.
Yes.
And if you're a fan or if you're a baseball connoisseur, what do they have to do, the Tigers being, in order to take the next 2 games on Saturday and Sunday?
You know what? They just bear down like they did tonight. They came out free swinging when they were loose at the plate, when they were swinging, kind of getting aggressive at the plate. That's when they had their most success. And it's definitely it happened when that relief pitcher came in, the southpaw
Horak.
Yeah, thank you. He didn't do anything to help the Tigers out.
No.
Nor did the Tigers. I mean, you can't make 4 errors in an evening, and and especially in crucial times like that, they made those errors. And the free passes, the hit batsmen, all the walks, and I mean, that's the only one. That's everything they did on the offensive tonight side seemed pretty well. I mean, James Free. I mean, he did okay, and it's going to be a tough combination of events if they they keep playing like this, it's not going to go pretty.
Yeah, 7 runs on 16 hits. Just we're in it. I mean, you score 7 runs, it should be a fairly game that the competition level should be a little bit different. I felt Ryan Shreve pitched well tonight. I just think that he gave up a couple that he'd love to have back. And then as far as the errors, as you mentioned, are always a little bit tough. And Blake Berry is about to join us here. As I see him watching, stepping over the wall here in just a moment. But it's a game that the Tigers just need to.
They had every right to win it, and then they wound up losing. It's just
absolutely so
a tough pull. But hey, they're going to be. You got to wake up tomorrow and go at it. So that's the spirit right there. I think they'll be okay. And we got someone joining us here right now, don't we?
Yeah, Blake Berry is on his way over here. He's going to go ahead and put the headset on. And Blake, once again, thank you very much for joining us here on the post-game wrap-up, man.
Yeah, no problem.
So let's go ahead and start off with the first. I'm going to put it in halves. The first 4 innings, the Tigers looked like they knew what they were doing as far as offensively. Were able to get to the plate. You went 3 for 3 at that point. Take us through what the differences were from the first half to the second half, because Horak came in there and just seemed like he was able to. The lefty came in and just was able to really control the tempo at that point.
Yeah, I think we just took our foot off the pedal a little bit. Lost a little bit of focus. Made some tough plays, and mostly I think we just lost our focus a little bit. Kind of just, thought we had it in the bag. I think after that first inning, especially, put the throttle down, and it's it's a cakewalk from here on out. But I think we just lost focus completely.
What was said in that huddle into that? Getting ready for game 2, does Coach say too much to you as a game that, as you mentioned, let slip away a little bit, take the foot off the throttle? Does he kind of give you a little bit words of encouragement, things to look for the next game? What usually is said in between that?
I think at this point we just, mostly just go out there and win, compete. Don't give away at bats at that point. We're down to this part in the season. We're kind of out of the thick of things, and I think just don't ever give up. Just keep competing. I don't think we competed our hardest today.
You get spot starts here and there. And you seem to make a lot of the most of them as you can, whether it be in defensively or today like you did at the plate. And you had a couple of good defensive plays as well. You had a charging pop out that you wound up catching on the run. So you had a couple of good plays. How does that go for your psyche as far as trying to just keep in the rhythm of a game, regardless if you start or if you play or if you even come in as a pinch hitter, but today getting a spot start, how do you keep in that rhythm?
The coaches have a game plan, and you just got to respect it and go out there every day, be ready to play, come out of that locker room for BP and expect to play. Because if you don't expect to play, then you're not ready to play. And so, whether I'm playing or not, you just got to be ready to go. And whether it's a pinch hit or defensive replacement or I'm starting or whatever it may be, wherever I'm playing, you just got to be ready to go. And, I think that's the only way to keep your spirits up and be ready is just to always, have that mindset of, I'm playing today when you wake up. And if you're not, then I'm ready for a pinch hit or I'm ready to play defense whenever they need me.
Tomorrow's a little bit of a different start. We're used to seeing you around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Tomorrow is 6 o'clock against Portland, same Portland team. You've seen them for pretty much your whole entire college career. There's no secret about them. But what is the game plan possibly for tomorrow as you look to try and even up this series?
No, I think it'll be fun. It's supposed to be fireworks night, so there's supposed to be a lot of fans out. So I think it'll be a good time, a lot of energy, especially in the crowd, I hope, Plus it's senior night, or so-called senior night. It's not our last true home game here, but it is senior night, so, it'd be good to have all our parents out here, a little celebration on the field beforehand, and just get the W. That's our biggest goal is we need wins at this point, so, it'll be fun for the fans to see the fireworks, and hopefully they come out and cheer us on and we get a W for them.
Well, Blake, thank you very much for joining us here, and good luck for tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you. Blake Berry joining us here on the post-game wrap-up. And before we let you go, Mark, once again, thanks a lot, buddy. Mark, before we let you go, your final thoughts as we kind of wrap things up here.
It did like exactly when you were talking to Blake just now, how he said that they kind of let off the throttle, and Portland kind of snuck that win out. When they went ahead, it didn't seem like they were winning the game, but.
No, in the stat column, you're right. You're absolutely right. So I think that Blake Berry, you can only respect your senior like Blake Berry is because he's playing in a little bit of a difficult situation. You have so many good outfielders that there's just a plethora of outfielders, whether it be the freshman Keaton Glover or Jimmy Boris is over there, and then you also have McKay Koisian, who we haven't seen very much this year. So he's playing in the outfield where there's just a lot of outfielders, and he's playing in a spot start. But I think he, of all people, deserved the, I would call it the player of the game, if you will, the way that he played tonight.
Yeah.
Albeit that James Free obviously is is there too, but. You can't give it to him every weekend either.
Yeah, well, let's hope. I mean, it's senior weekend. Let's hope these seniors can go out on top with a couple wins and take this series, even though I won't be here. But I'm in the 18th grade. I'm not a senior anymore. I don't even know what I'm called. But
you've repeated twice or 3 times over, right?
Exactly. So,
all right. Well, let's go ahead and give you the final score for the final time. The University of Pacific Tigers lose game 1 in this 3-game series, 10-7 over the Portland Pilots. For the entire camera crew, the University of Pacific Athletic Department, the producer and director, Michael January. And I want to thank the Communications Department for allowing us to do what we do on a regular basis. For Mark Walsh, I'm Jeff Dominic saying have a great night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow, Saturday, 6 p.m., fireworks night here at Klein Family Field. Have a great rest of your night.
Some people still don't believe that secondhand smoke is dangerous. This is Scott Bakula. Did you know that just being around someone who smokes can cause severe lung problems, heart disease, and cancer? But there is something you can do about it. Call for a free booklet from the Will Rogers Institute. It clearly explains the proven risks of secondhand smoke and the ways you can avoid exposure. Toll free 1-877-957-7575. Because secondhand smoke is dangerous. Believe it.
Hi there, this is Sammy Hagar here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. Now, style's a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody else's business. Please, plan ahead. Designate before you celebrate. Because friends do not let friends drive drunk.
A public service message brought